Croatia is reporting from there, so we've been linking with them. But that's not the only story we're following up to you. Now this morning, the top management of the Kenya Power and that the current and previous are to be arraigned in court. We have that covered for you from all angles. Then the panel is to join me later today. The week that was and the week that is already shaping up. Fred Okango, Secretary General Cadre Alliance, and Charles Muyui, they are all in studio shortly. And the swearing-in ceremony for Patrick Shoi, Professor Olive Mugenda, and Felix Koske as commissioners as the Judicial Service Commission is on this afternoon after JSC visited them vetting before Parliament. Now the three replaced the former commissioners. And of course the World Cup is in France.
Thank you.
Performance last night against Croatia, winning 4-2.
A very beautiful morning to all of you.
And welcome to the show. My name is Kevin.
Myself, I will be the MC. My name is Jalango.
But first, let's
thank you so much for giving time. Everyone who's
we find Trevor of
who's invited here, definitely you are.
From the airport. Trevor, good morning and good to see you from Kogelo village. That's Nyangoma. You don't look like one of the villagers with a tie. But
we're just about to begin.
Thank you for joining us. Tell us what's happening. We know the excitement is palpable in Kogelo village. Obama just checked in. This is the first time in so many years. The last time he was here was about 2006. He was in the village, that is 2006. 2015 he was back. He promised to come back home and he's indeed home, Trevor. I see a lot of people behind you. Talk to them and talk to us.
And he did keep his promise, Ken, but there are mixed feelings here in Nyangoma. This is Kogelo. There are mixed reactions from the youth I've been speaking to. Most of them wanted to see him and talk to him, but it's been mentioned that this is going to be a private visit. Some of them are very happy with that. I'll just run you through the program real quick from the Sautiku Sports Vocational and Training Center. That's what is supposed to launch earlier on today. Between 8 to 10, there's supposed to be arrival of guests, and the guests are supposed to sit down as well. But between 10:30 to 11, the guests should have already been seated. However, we've seen the former US President Barack Obama's entourage pass behind him. I personally counted 14 vehicles, very heavily armed Marines and Secret Service officers, and of course in collaboration with the Kenyan police, they were all covering the area, total shutdown almost. The road from Kisumu to Ndori has been shut down as well. No vehicles were allowed to pass. However, just a few moments ago, they've clearly opened it. But what it did is the former president, the former US president, just went straight to Mama Sarah, that's the grandmother, before he heads to the venue where he's expected to sit. From the program here, that official ceremony should begin between 11 to 1 p.m. But Ken, this is a very interesting schedule because there's a part where they have from around 1:30 to 5. Clearly, nothing is going to happen. It's just been indicated that there'll be break from broadcast. No explanations, nothing. Sources here reveal that most likely is going to be speaking to very close family members at that particular point, and the media are not going to be allowed. So it's a solid 3.5 hours where there'll just be a total shutdown from the media, and then entertainment resumes after that, and it goes all the way up until 9 p.m. But Ken, I want to speak to some of the people here, their residents. They say this is their son, and get their reactions to the issue that they have to get accreditation to get into the vocational training center. Some of them are not very excited about that, but let's hear that directly from them. Asante kuja kwa nasi. Unaitwa nani?
Naitwa William Mubati.
Maoni yako kuhusu visit ya Obama ni yapi?
Mimi maoni yangu kuhusu kuja kwa Obama.
Lona, Caroline Obara,
Obama kama si vijana. Sisi tungetaka sana tumuone. Lakini sasa venye sijui serikali ya Kenya ndio imeweka hii kitu imekuwa private ama sijui ni nini. Cause sisi tumejua tulikuwa tumetegemea hata sisi tumpe shida yetu venye hata raisi akija tuseme amekuja Siaya. Kuna wenye huwa wanaenda wanamwambia raisi hapa Siaya tuko na shida kama hii. Na sasa huyu ni mtoto wetu amekuja hapa Siaya na hapa ndio kwao. Alafu sasa tunanyimwa haki ya kumwona hata kumsalimia. Sisi hatuna furaha. Kama ni serikali ndio imefanya hivyo, sisi hatuna furaha. Hatuoni raha yoyote kwa sababu hata polisi wamesema hakuna barabara inaweza pita. Sisi ni kama mimi ni mtu wa pikipiki. Venye nilikuwa nakuja hapa nimetoka Siaya town. Venye nilikuwa nakuja hapa hata venye nilikuwa nimefika junction ya Ngia. Karibu niambiwe hakuna kupita hapa. Nikasema mimi ili nibidi nidanganye naenda tu hapa mbele. Sikusema naenda Kogelo. Sasa kufika hapa nimeona security iko tight
on somebody else's seat.
Ni rais mstaafu. Sasa sijui kwa nini hatuna ruhusa ya kumuona ama kumsalimia kama mtoto wetu.
Iwapo ungekubaliwa kumuona, ungemuuliza nini?
Mimi iwapo ningepewa nafasi ili nimuone ama niongee na rais wetu mstaafu wa Amerika, ningemwambia shida ambayo vijana wako nayo hapa Siaya. Juu yeye ni rais, lakini hawa mavijana wengine wamemaliza shule, hawana kazi. Hii sasa kama hii stadium yenye imejengwa hapa juzi, unaweza pata watu wanatolewa mbali wanakuja kufanya hapa. Sisi vijana hapa hatupati kazi na tunataka kazi. Sasa hapo ndio shida ingetokea.
Wakati ambapo watu walikuwa wanapewa accreditation ili kuona Obama, wewe ulikuwa wapi? Ulijaribu kupata accreditation?
Hapana.
Kwa nini?
Then we have the other donors who are here with us.
Asante sana. Tuongee na mwingine hapa hivi. Kwa majina naitwa na nikoja kidogo.
The team from the Giants of Africa.
Kwa majina naitwa Patrick. Mimi ni mkaaji wa Kogelo hapa.
Join Kate.
Patrick Oweno. But sisi sana venye mwenzangu ameongea hatujafurahia sana. Kwa sababu huyu ni mtoto wetu hapa, mzaliwa hapa. So tungependelea tuongee na yeye. Sisi kama vijana tumwambie shida zetu. So hapa tumekatazwa leo hata kumuona, kuongea na yeye. Tumekatazwa. So we are not happy about that anyway at all.
I see most of you are gathering around here. Were you hoping that you would address a public rally here?
No. Tulikuwa tunatarajia hata tukipewa, hata sisi tupewe mtu mmoja atu represent kama ma youth. Hili tumwambie shida zetu hapa Kogelo. Na vile tulisikia jana tuliambiwa hii kitu ni private, you see. So sisi hatuna furaha, sisi vijana hatuna furaha hapa, hatuna furaha.
Wapo ungempata ungemuuliza nini kama wewe mkazi wa hapa hivi Siaya?
Sisi kama wakaaji wa hapa tungepewa nafasi kumuona. Tuko na shida nyingi hapa Kogelo. Sana sisi kama vijana hatuna kazi, ajira hakuna hapa. So kazi sisi tunachukulia duni kazi ya bodaboda, lakini kuna wengi wetu kama vijana ambao wamesoma. Kuna wengine wamesoma na wanafanya kazi ya bodaboda. So tungemuli hata viwanda, angetujengea hapa viwanda ili tupate kazi, tufanye kazi kama vijana. Ingekuwa kitu mzuri sana.
Asante sana. Thank you. Unaitwa nani?
Mimi naitwa Nick.
Usijali ndakushikia, angalia kamera. Unaitwa nani?
Kwa majina naitwa Nicodemus. I'm from hapa Kogelo village. Yes.
What are your thoughts about the president?
I've not seen anything. No change.
What would you like to tell him if you were to see him?
What I can tell Obama, tangu aingie kwa urezo, hakuna kitu ametusaidia nayo. Na ameenda miaka mbili. Ameenda huko 2 terms. Hakuna chenye tumeona sisi mavijana. Tuna hustle tu. Tunalima nyanya, tunalima doma. No problem.
Asante sana.
Okay.
Yes. Gina, let's start with your name.
Okay, I'll choose to speak in English. Okay, so I'm Japhet Amolo, and I'm also a son of this area. So speaking on the visit of the former president, we usually call him our big brother, because yes, he is. So as you can see around here, there's some feeling of desperation and disappointment because when we heard that he was coming, and in this time was coming out of, he's out of office. So at least we expected the schedule to be at least flexible, so that we would get a chance to speak to him. Like the last time he was in this village, that was 2006, in the run-up to the 2008 elections when he was a senator. We can say when he came, we can really admit that there is a festive from this area. Those who know this area before Obama went into office, you can really, the improvement manifests itself. Like we have a tarmac road here, you can see electricity is all over here. We've got some facelift, you know. So today we are disappointed. We're just like you said, accessing where Obama would be addressing a crowd, which is going to take place at the Saudi Vocational Center. You need an accreditation. So we are shocked because this is somebody who is coming back home. As you can, the home is just some 200 meters from this place, and he's our brother. And we fail to understand why, because Auma said, that's the sister, Auma Obama said that he was coming back home. So if he was coming back home and we were the brothers, we feel disappointed. It's a total disappointment that we cannot accept, even just seeing Obama. Because there's a heavy presence of security personnel, meaning that you not access some points. There are chances that we might not even see him. So we are here and we might even wait for the televisions just to see it like people elsewhere. So we are so disappointed and we are not happy.
Thank you. I'll get a more sample of feelings here.
I came from Kisumu district. So I'm very much disappointed because I came from Kisumu using my bus fare to 1 o'clock without seeing former President Barack Obama. So you see the crowd is, the people are very many here waiting for him, and there is no chance even to see, even to shake hands with him. I'm very much disappointed. In terms of jobs, so many boys are hanging here without jobs. Most of them are just border riders. Most of them are just selling tomatoes. So I just request him if he can hear my view to put some of the projects or even factories here so that all these boys and men, young men can get a place for work. That's all.
Understand. I see you're wearing a badge for the 44th President of the USA. What's your name?
Okay, I'm called Jeremiah. But I'm so happy when I heard that Obama was coming here. But we have got a challenge, serious challenge, that we have to get access to Obama so that we can at least tell him the problem we are facing here, we as youth. Me, basically, I was a student, but immediately when I finished my school, we are jobless. Nothing we can do. As you see, rain is something that is seasonal, so we cannot rely on rain at our cause. So majorly I'm a footballer. When I had that stadium close to my home, I had to come and see so that we can tell Obama things that we need, so that we can as well play, practice our talent. So when Obama at least had the message that we are training here, we can get access and even carry some young men to other parts so that we can as well train there and get chances to other.
That is one of the things Sauti Kuu Foundation is meant to do. Are you going to register?
So I was not, majorly to me, I have no information about the registration, but I will register when we are told to register. So that is the only challenge we're experiencing here.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Okay, I'm John Mumbo, one of the students, a former student of Senator Obama Secondary. I'm much disappointed at the because Obama is our brother, and when Obama is coming there, we are told that we have to pay, and we don't have money, so very disappointed.
There's really no payment, it's just that you need to get accreditation before you access the venue. Have you tried to get accreditation?
Okay, no, I'm much disappointed, and in fact, nothing more I can say.
Let's speak to a few more people here, Ken. You can see that you can feel the disappointment. I'm trying to see if I can get mixed reactions of those who are just excited and no disappointments that so far none of that is coming through. Let's start with your name, sir.
My name is Ate.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very excited because the business is booming, the security is tight. But one thing I want to urge the Obama sister, Auma, is that Sauti Kuu should be devolved in some parts of the country so that all Kenyans benefit, because every Kenyan is happy. It's happy because the son of land is here, and we are happy. We are happy with everybody.
What did you like him to address when he speaks to the youth?
No, the problem here, he should address corruption issue and employment to Kenyans. Maybe he can take some to be employed in US. Yeah, thank you.
All right. I'll get a few more views from you, sir. What's your name?
Michael Chaka, yes.
What are your sentiments about Obama?
Expectation, just to expect Obama to say good morning, Kogelo, only.
You just want him to say hello. What would you like him to address beyond that?
Beyond that, he can go to Sister Auma and address the youth employment, and just that's the basic thing.
All right, Ken, those are the sentiments of the people here in Nyangoma and Kogelo here. There's still more of them who want to address the issues here. I think he's also part of us. He has his camera on, but let's find out. What's your name, sir?
Apollo Chiang.
What are your sentiments statements about Obama's visit?
I'm happy. Lakini mimi ningesema akikuja, mimi ningependa at least afungue factory moja kubwa inaweza employ hata youths 2000 hapa Siaya County. Siaya County haina kampuni yoyote. Tumechoka kwenda Nairobi sijui wapi kutafuta makazi. At least hiyo inaweza kutusaidia hapa Siaya County. Thank you.
Naona uko na kamera hapo hivi na ingia. Hii ni ya kazi gani? Kazi inaendeleaje so far? Umepata watu kupiga picha mara mingi?
Sijapata vile, lakini I hope nitapata. Yeah.
Alright, thank you very much. Kwa majina? Maoni yako ni yapi kuhusu Obama kuja huku Siaya kama mkazi?
Mimi naamini kwamba maoni kwamba nimefurahisha kuwakaribisha Barack Obama Kenya, kwa sababu ni muda mrefu kwa kumuona, so ningemshukuru kwa kufika.
One more view here, English or Kiswahili, whichever one you like. Kwa majina?
Oh, I'm called Silas Oduro Nguru. Yeah, I'm from this region. We are glad to receive our former president of the United States of America here. So what I would like to say is going to create changes in this. This will be a town in the future to come. But then what I can also say, you see, very many things are going to be created like university. The university will be here. The population will increase and demand of the commodities will rise. That means that the economical situation in this particular region will also rise. We have seen very many changes, electricity, all roads are tarmacked, the stadium is here, but we'll always bring people together for cultural activities. Yeah, I'm Silas Oduro.
How do you feel now that you need security access to get in? You need accreditation to see Obama?
Okay, the security in this particular region today, I can say it's okay with us. Yeah, the situation is okay with us. Of course, it's okay. Now, the security is tight because Obama is on his way coming from here. The security is tight. No, he's not here. Okay, maybe he's here. But the security, it's favoring us. Of course, yani our tubut sana. Yeah.
Very much. You want to speak, but I've spoken to you already. Let's speak to one more lady here. Just 1 minute, one moment. Yes. Kwa majina?
Okay, I'm Millicent Rajula, a daughter of this soil. Okay, this is our place. Okay, me I have a lot to say. Maybe I'll say talk of the theme. The other time when Obama came, he talked of 2 level 5 hospital, which one was to be built in Kwale and one to be built in Kogelo. So me, I thought that I'd get a chance to talk to Obama and explain to him that the land is there. There's a dispensary where I'm the chairperson, just across River Yala. It's still the extended Kogelo. So I thought that I'll explain to Obama that there's land already over 70 acres where we can put that level 5.
Did you try to go through the official channels to access Obama, like get accreditation?
No, we wrote a memorandum and gave to the governor.
What was in that memorandum?
It's about where we have found the land, how we can develop it, given a chance. So I don't know where it has reached. You see now me, I'm just a junior person, but I thought that I'll get information from the governor to explain, because I'm the chairperson of that dispensary. We can extend it. And that one will create jobs to this our ladies, the youths, you see. Then again, another thing that I will ask Obama, as Obama is going to meet people there, I think on invitation, I'll just request Obama just to call us, the people of this place, the Kogelo people, just to give him, those place security to give him a chance to talk to us, even greeting, we'll appreciate. Then again, lastly, I'll ask Obama, this is the county where he comes from. Why can't he just make this county a city of his own, where every place, not just Kogelo, every corner, every place of the county is developed to be a city of his own.
But you do realize he doesn't run things here because he's a former US president, not the Kenyan president, and he means also governors run areas around. He's not directly linked.
Yes, but you see now, being that you are coming from a place, you will want to leave a legacy. That is the land of my parents. I want to make it beautiful. So you can just make it beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Very much. All right, Ken, those are the sentiments of the people here at Kogelo in Nyangoma Center. The former U.S. head of state has just headed that way to my left. That's where the grandmother is. We've been told he's going to spend some hours there before he goes to the Sauti Vocational Training Center. It's about 1 kilometer from where I am, and there's a lot of mixed feelings and mixed reactions from the residents here who say that they wanted to just see him and say hi to him and express their feelings and the things they want him to handle for them here. But that seems very unlikely, Ken, because as early as 6 a.m., there was already a police barricade here, and most of us were not allowed to access it. Even the media, some of them were not allowed to go beyond a certain point, and that was way before he arrived. At this particular point, this is the farthest, the closest we can be, actually. It's about 1 kilometer away from the venue. We'll go and listen in. We'll try and give you as much detail as we can and get people reacting from this other side. Ken?
And of course, Trevor, make sure you eat some oduma before you come back to Nairobi. But let's think about the kind of security arrangement that is in Kogelo right now. It's unexpected. You know, logically, Trevor, these residents expected that it will be all easy. You know, being a former president, they thought they'll get access to him, but that's proving to be difficult. So tell us the kind of security arrangements that is made right from the airport to Nyangoma village.
Ken, heavy would be an understatement, and yes, of course, I'll get myself some oduma during this time that I'm here. I might need it myself. But heavy security presence is what we've seen right from yesterday. I personally saw about 4 truckloads of police officers in full armor and gear. They were patrolling the entire center and also around that facility, and they had sniffer dogs, and it was just a massive security check. They did not relent for 1 second because the sniffer dogs kept patrolling both inside and outside the vocational center. And we were under very tight security presence when we were doing a link there. And we've been told that this is a scaled down security presence. In fact, I hear some sirens. This most likely President Barack Obama is heading out from the grandmother's place. Not really. Those are just the police officers like I was mentioning earlier on. It's just the security presence. They're just passing by the road. Like I mentioned earlier on, he went in to see his grandmother, and he had about 14 vehicles in the entourage. The sirens you're hearing behind me are just heading to the venue, Ken. We are not allowed to access Mama Sarah Obama's home at this particular point because they said it's a private visit. But back to your question, the security presence has been massive, but the security sources do not exactly give you the numbers. In as much as we were told that this security presence has been scaled down compared to when he was the US president, it is still impressive and it is still massive here, Ken.
All right, and Trevor, indeed, that is part of the convoy of the former president. The venue for that meeting is about 800 meters from where you are, Trevor, or about a kilometer. But talk to us again about the kind of development that we have seen in the area since he was senator 2006, he became president 2008 to about 2016. Talk to us about what you have seen in terms of development in the area. Because we get a lot of sense of, there's a lot of hope from the young men in Kogelo village. Probably they expected much more, but having been on the ground and seen what has happened, are there any changes that you might talk about in terms of development?
Again, sorry, there's a lot of activity around me, but if you're talking about the development here, the people I've been speaking to have been telling me that there's been a bit of an improvement generally in terms of tarmacking of the roads, but they say that nothing much has changed. But this is also based on the expectations they had, because it's a former US president again, and this is where he comes from, his motherland. It's expected that with the power that the US brings, it's expected that he would make a lot of changes around here. In as much as that is not how the government-to-government relation works, but people here expected that they would have much more. I was speaking to some youth just a few moments ago, and they were saying that they want him to bring industries here and bring manufacturing industries to them, and also in the ripple effect of that would mean that they have jobs. But you also realize, I asked some of them that they cannot expressly do that, but their counter reaction was impressive, because they told me that being a former US president and former US head of state, he has a lot of connection. Even the people he's come with can actually be convinced to invest here if he tells them to do so. And that's an interesting perspective, Ken, because you cannot know how far he's going to push the development agenda and how he's going to make sure that it happens without seeming biased towards CI where he comes from, because it's a very tricky balance, Ken. And we've had former President Barack Obama, he has an organization that deals with the youth, tries to empower people left, right, and center. But Ken, you also realize that the measure of that is also a concern, because you cannot say that it's done well or is not done well, depending on where you're standing from, and also depending on the numbers that are available. I was speaking to some people about the Saudi Foundation that is just behind me a few minutes ago, a few moments from where I am. It's about a kilometer away. And they're saying they want to be more involved. That, despite the fact that some of them are already involved. So it's a tricky balance game. But the development that I would say around here is it's 50-50, I'd say.
All right, Trevor, in 2010, just 2 years into his term, I was privileged to do Nyangoma Village, where I also interviewed Obama. But talk to us about the expectations earlier. Initially, he said that Obama would not be going to his village with his mothers. And now he's there. What do you think changed? What changed?
Again, I'm struggling to get your questions here, but I'll just try. Are you talking about him going to see his grandmother, Mama Sarah Obama?
Yes,
that place has been closed off to the media, so we don't exactly know what's going to happen there. That happened from yesterday, and we were told that it's going to be a private meeting between him and the family. In fact, there were some elders who had a petition demanding to see the former U.S. head of state to address certain issues there. But let me just get more reaction from the people who are joining me right now. One of them is from Kisumu and is with me right now. Let's just find out what his expectations are and why he's here today. Sir, let's start with your name.
Yes, Trevor Major. I'm George Owiti, Urjaluma Kisumu. I travel all around from Kisumu to be here. What we are witnessing here is very funny. When former president arrived, he even did not come out to wave to the people. Yeah, and right now we are being told he has already left his grandmother's home, heading to Saudi without even waving to the people. And when he was coming here, we were told he has a campaign with almost 400 investors. Exactly what we were told on the ground. So we appeal to those who are handling our son, the son of soil, to give us time so that even the residents can interact with him. What we want to do for us, because we have youths who have no jobs. There is no proper hospital. We are very desperate, and Obama has been in power for 8 years. So we expect more from him. Already, if the handlers of Obama, they should even have stopped Obama here to wait for the resident. And Obama has been in a very tight security. So we are wondering what type of visitor.
Yes, you came from Kisumu. What were you expecting? Because you do not have a accreditation.
You see, just a minute, my friend. You see, Mr. Mbija, Obama is for all of us, entire Lugu nation. So when I travel from Kisumu, I expect that money was flowing here. I've not even spotted even a single politician, even an MCA, even a any of them here. So we expect this business to boom. There, even there, no. People are just tired. Even you are yourself. So I never expect something big from him that he's going to give me money today. This is what I give you. But we want to be announced publicly that Obama has put a foundation, has laid a foundation stone for a hospital, for running water and others. But we have been told he's going to open a basketball pitch. And this area, is there any person playing basketball pitch here? The basketball game here? None like that. So we do appreciate his presence here because he's our son. But it seems he has been hijacked. Hey, that is exactly the truth.
What if you go back to Kisumu without seeing him? Then what?
Okay, it will. I'll have a blow because I use my own fare from Kisumu to here, expecting even to see him face to face. But I don't care because in 2005, when he was Illinois senator, I was in Jaramogi now, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Referral and Teaching Hospital, I see him lying. Even I was almost to greet him. Since he was in a tight security moment, I didn't reach near him. Even here, Sauti Kuhia, we were told openly that that place strictly for only invited guests. And any member of the public that want to gain access must have a special card. So we are wondering what type of visit Obama is doing. We are being handled roughly by security personnel. Even here, Obama is our son. So we appeal to the county government of Siaya because governors of Lake region, I think I've spotted Nandi County governor here, that is Sang. I spotted his official car here. We want them to know that we are the resident whom Obama came to greet and see. You see?
Most of the governors I spoke to said that they're going to represent you when it comes to meeting the former US president. Are you comfortable with that? Do you think they will efficiently represent you when they meet?
In fact, we always not comfortable with our governors because we know we respect them as elected leaders. But if it comes to a circumstances, a public event like this, you are being told your governor is going to represent you. We have seen the money that will be given on behalf of the resident. These people will not see that money. It will, because they can't even write a check. How will you access that check?
There will really be no money being given. It will just be maybe investments and deals cut around there. But are you comfortable with the governors representing your views to the former US president?
On my side, I'm totally 100% not comfortable. We have youth representatives. We have women representatives. If His Excellency Colonel Rasanga is a male governor, he's able governor of Siaya. So if there is no youth representative or women representative, how will you be comfortable? Because investment goes with capital, Ombija. Get me clear. It goes with capital. So you can't tell me that investors does not give money one by one. They can deposit that money to the bank in a youth group account. They are going to withdraw for their purposes. So I do not comfortable with a governor representing me in a public event like this, where people have closed down their business. Border people are here. They closed down their business because of this event of today. So we should not just be special in everything like this. Yes.
Thank you very much. Ken, those are the remarks of the people of Nyangoma. They still need to speak to me more. There's still one more person here wants to talk to me about Obama here. We've already spoken to you, sir, so I'll speak to him. So let's start with your name, sir.
I'm Daniel Omondi.
Yeah. What are your views about Obama's visit? I see you already have a badge here representing Obama. Welcome.
Okay, I'm happy. We are happy. We are happy to receive the most honorable guest today, His Excellency, the 44th President of Kenya. We are happy, but of US, we are happy, but there's a lot of restrictions. In fact, I've just seen in the telly that Obama is in home, but we've been waiting since morning here. In fact, we waited from here. So the restrictions.
Since what time were you waiting?
From 6 in the morning. So the restrictions are really quite appalling. So I expect Obama to come and address us. After he's through with the launching the Sauti Kuu Foundation, he should come and address us. We want to see Obama in flesh addressing us, and we'll actually appreciate, because he's done a lot for us, really. If he doesn't, really, we'll be quite disappointed. But all the same, we'll appreciate his coming.
What would you like to tell him, though? If you were able to meet him, what would you tell him?
Okay, if I would be able to meet Obama, first I would really appreciate how his reign, when he was the president of America for 8 years, he brought a lot of peace in this world, in the planet Earth. Secondly, I would really request him to develop. In fact, I would really request Obama to build for us two cancer centers in every county, so that the disease of cancer, which is killing our people every day, could really be alleviated. I would really ask him to upgrade this school. The Obama Senator Senator Obama primary school is really in a very pathetic situation. I would really ask him to really
Vijana wanahangaika, hawana kazi kama sisi. Wasichana hatuna job. Kama sasa anaweza kuja atuangalilie venye tunaweza pata kazi. Hiyo tu ndio naweza sema.
Lakini sasa kuna wengine wenu hawataweza kumuona. A few more reactions here, Ken. I hope you have a lot of time. We're going to speak to quite a number of them and find out what their feelings are. And let's speak to another young man here. I'll come to you, sir, in just a few minutes.
Okay, my name is Frederick Odhiambo Tieno.
Give me your quick reactions about Obama's visit. Are you happy?
Okay, I want to say that I'm much annoyed since we've been here morning and we've not seen any reaction. Obama is just passing by, even without waving for us. And we've been waiting here all along since yesterday. We came back today just to see him. I mean, we were eager to see him. But
as a young man, what would you like to tell him?
Okay, what I want to tell him, I just want to tell him that he may create job opportunity for the Kenyans so that we are empowered, because so many people lack job and they have no opportunity to work. Many people are learned in Kenya. What we know, Kenya is still a third world country whereby we need job opportunities. And we've been trying any offices, so many offices, but the matter of that tribalism doesn't allow us to get job. So when the job came back to devolve government, I would like to request him that he build for us so many areas or field of work whereby we can both access.
Will you try and access the Sauti Kuu Foundation, which is just here? It's supposed to empower the youth. Are you aware of what it's supposed to do?
Okay, I will try due to the fact that I'm much impressed with it, so that we get skills on one field or another. Yes.
You know what it's supposed to do to the youth. Are you aware of the foundation?
Okay, I know that when Sauti Kuu will start operating, so many people will be empowered, whereby people will work according to the rank. Yes.
Thank you very much. Let me speak to another person here. What's your name?
I'm Alfred Mugodhiambo from Ugunja. I've traveled to come and see the president of our soil, the son of our own, Mr. Obama. What I've realized is the security storming us not even to see and share with him. We are not happy. Obama came for the citizen of Kenya. Every Kenyan is now watching Siaya and expecting something good from us. We have come here in Kogelo and we expect some deliverance from the president. We have not come here for the security personnel to show us how tough they are. We are expecting some goods from the governor to specify what is in need in Siaya. We have students lacking that space of study due to banning of schools. We don't know how these things are coming in. We are also eager to see job opportunities. We have widows. Kogelo have widows. What plan do we have on these ones? We have youths. They are hustling. Now the security are there to bump there and object us, not even to specify whatever we have that hustle with us here. Now it is a space where we are getting that. We should have a space for the youths to get jobs and be trained. For example, it's going to open another space for us. Now we should chip in and see how good it will be for these people. I'm Alfred. I'm begging our Governor Rasanga to participate deeply because we might not even share in that podium. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me get us. I have a few students here. I believe they have consented. Sir, I've already spoken to you, so I'm not going to talk to you again. There's several people who want to speak. Let's get one more person here. Of course, there's another person here. Kwa majina unaitwa nani?
Kwa jina naitwa Obiru Kubiru, the opinion leader. Anyway, I'm happy. I'm happy enough, but not so much happy, because what I've seen here, what makes us not feeling so happy, because Obama is from here. But what we have seen from the security, totally we are, sorry. Yeah, we've seen from the security, we are totally unhappy. Because what they have shown us seems that we came here as an enemy. Obama is not our enemy. We like Obama because Obama is one of our brothers. But what we have seen concerning the security is totally wrong. Because even the border people are being avoided to pass. They could have something, or in another way, how they can check people. It's okay. In terms of development, I've been so much happy with Obama for what we have been done and what now we have seen. What we need here, you know, the poverty rate in Nyanza is very high. Well, so what we are trying to urge Obama, if we can make a kind of initiative, programs which can uplift the living standard of young men, both young men and older. Because the poverty which is here is very high. If we can get an hospital, especially an hospital, an institution, especially as a health center, educational health center, educational somewhere, and even I'm urging Honorable Obama, His Excellency, please, as I am now speaking, I'm also one of the herbalists. As you know that herbalists normally help in terms of curing the diseases which are very chronic. So we are urging if we can get somewhere here, which we can get maybe for herbalist association which can help us here in terms of help, I thought that that could be more better.
So what happens if Obama goes back without seeing any of you and you don't get to share your opinion or your sentiments with him?
No, that's the reason why I've said even before that we are unhappy with what we have seen here, because we would like maybe Obama, once he have completed the project, to see anywhere and where, he can come and greet us, just to wave for us. And he can tell us maybe 1, 2, 3, and we also, we are as opinion leaders and the rest, we can give our opinion, and then I thought that might be the best way.
Thank you, sir. We have some students here as well, but before I get to them, Ken, they're from the Senator Obama Kogelo Secondary School. I'll speak to some of them just to get their sentiments because they studied there. But let me finish up with the residents here. Sir, what's your name?
My name's Ken. My name is Ken Miao.
What are your sentiments about Obama's visit?
My sentiment is that I want to thank Obama for coming, and what I would urge our leaders and even the citizens is to just try and replicate what he's trying to demonstrate. Yeah, it's not about him, it's about us. He said you are the change you've been waiting for. So we are the ones who are going to initiate that change. Us is just to see a little bit of an example and also to replicate other better leaders in a free world.
Do you have access to the venue where he's going to launch the Sautiku Foundation?
No, I think it's the other side, so I want to try and rush there so that I can get access. But I must say, this is awesome. Yes, and God bless him.
What do you think are some of the biggest challenges facing the youth around here?
Okay, the biggest challenges facing the youth, one is ignorant in the sense that a lot of youths, almost everywhere, are too complacent. They don't strive their best. They don't go out there to do their most. They wait to be done for, which is wrong. So they should just take charge, because if they wait to be done for, then they give those people the power to do it for them. And so in that sense, it means that they'll be sort of like a slave to those people who must do it for them. You understand? Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ken, very interesting views there from a young man who believes that it's upon himself to pull himself up to the ladder that he wants and not to wait for anyone else to give him support. Let's get a few more reactions. Madam, you can come closer if you'd like to speak to us. What's your name, sir?
I'm Dr. Koyoko from Papinyadiel, one of the Boda Bodas operators. I'm very much happy with the visit. Today I've made a lot of money and I know today I will eat good. Naenda kuchukua wewe kwa sokoni, nipeleke mama apike nyumbani tukule. Yeah. Na mambo ya hao askari kutuzuia kwa baba kuingia kwa Obama imenichokesha sana. Yeah.
Ungemwona ungemwambia nini kama mtu wa bodaboda wapo?
Ningemwambia ya kwamba atutengenezee hata sheds hizi zetu ziko mbaya sana. That is the only thing I could request from him.
Sasa leo vile umepata biashara unaenda kula nini?
Wewe. Yeah.
Ati wewe. Hiyo ni nini wewe?
Wewe ni zile omena ndogo ndogo. Yeah, small fishes. Yeah.
Omena mini.
Sio omena mini. Tunahitaji jamaa. Fulu. Yeah. So we are very much happy. Ingawaje wametukataza hata tujamuona. Hata angetuwevia tu hapa kidogo hivi tungefurahia sana.
Asante sana. I hope I'll join him for the full. They call him Weu. Yeah. Let me get a few. Asante.
Papinyadiel Primary School. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let me get a few views from the young people here from the Senator Obama Secondary School. I'll start with you, then I'll come to you. If you'd like to speak, are you able to speak to us? What's your name?
I'm able first. My name is Julius Owena. I'm happy to see you, Trevor Bija. It has been long. I see you in TV. Second, I'm happy to see all this happening in Kogelo. I'm also happy that we are able to see everything, security is tight. But as students of Senator Obama, we are not happy. I have not been given an opportunity to meet him, even to wave at once as he is passing. Second, we are crying as fraternity of Senator Obama. We are lacking a school bus. We want it eagerly. We are waiting at it. All will be okay if maybe the schedule is so tight so that we cannot see him, but let him try even a second sharing with us or even waving. He will be happy. I'm happy to see you all. Thank you.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
I'm growing up. I'm lucky to be a neurosurgeon.
Surgeon. Again, those are the views of some of them. I want to speak to more. If they like to speak to us, they're all over here. Any other young man who wants to speak from the Senator Obama, can cross over to this other side. We have to be gender sensitive here, Ken. I'll speak to about 3 of them just to get their views. Let's start with the lady, then I'll come to the gentleman. What's your name?
My name's Lilian Akinyo Otieno. I come from Senator Obama Secondary School. I'm happy to see our elder brother to come today, and we are so glad, and I would like to see him for the first time because I've not seen him. Yeah, so I'm requesting just to come and wait for us.
What would you like to tell him if you were to see him today?
I would like to tell him to buy us a school bus because we are lacking a school bus. We can't go far. We can't go far without a school bus, and some of the classes have broken. So I would like to request him to repair for us to fence us our school. There is no fence, it's in insecurity. Okay.
Thank you very much. Let's speak to another young man here. What's your name?
Yes, me, I'm Ibrahim Agel. I'm from Senator Obama Secondary School. I'm a student there, so me, I have no much, being that much have been said by my fellow students. I would just request that he organize some infrastructure and some development in terms of industry so as our people can get to work there. And I thank him for being invited in our country and now he's there. I don't much.
Can I get a quick sample from both of you? What would you like to become when you grow up?
Me, when I grow up, I would wish to be just the same
as a journalist as well. All right, one of the journalists in the making. Can I speak to another young lady? What's your name?
Me too. When I grow up and study well, I'm going to go further and become a journalist.
Good stuff. Let me start with your name and then tell me your sentiments about Obama. What's your name?
My name's Lilian Akinyo Otieno. We are very happy that our elder brother has come to visit us today. But the worst thing that he has not reached our school so that he can just wait for us.
All right, thank you very much. Let me get another young man here or a young lady who'd like to speak to us. From Senator Obama Kogelo as well. You have a different uniform. Are you a prefect?
Prefect. I'm in charge of water and sanitation. My name is Senator Chieng Ouma. Yeah, so I'm in Form 4. Yeah, I'm happy about the visit of the former president of the US. We are so happy and thankful because every there are job opportunity that is going to be brought about his visit. Everything, even our school, we lack so many things, as my colleagues have said. We still lack dormitory. We don't have dormitory yet. We are day scholars, but us as Form 4s, we thought that it could be better if we have a dormitory, so that we limit the movement going back home and coming back to school, so that we can make use of the time that we have in school. And the other thing, our school is during sports, we face so many difficulties because we lack school bus. So it always forces us to use other means of transport, which sometimes are expensive. Sometimes we are being forced to walk, and maybe the venue where the sporting is to take place is so far. So those are the main challenges we are facing as a school. And also in the part of dining hall, our school still lack dining hall, yet it has a big name. So we thought that, even me, when I was joining Form 1, I thought that the school I'm going to be to learn is a big school and well developed, but to my surprise, things were not the same. I thought that it could be a good school because it had a good name, Senator Obama. So I was surprised that when it reaches lunchtime, we don't have time. We eat on stones. We sit on stones while eating. Maybe the dining hall is not there when it is raining. It's just rain on you when you are eating. So several challenges. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ken, those are the sentiments from the young people, and we still have quite a number of them who want to speak to us. Let's start with your name, madam.
My name is Beryl Adiambo.
Yes, what are the sentiments about Obama's visit?
I'm so happy to see our brother, for he has come to visit us. But we are just sad because he has passed near our school, but he has not waved for us.
What would you like to tell him if you were to see him today?
I would like to tell him to build for us, so that many developments in our school, for we lack dining hall and school bus. Yes.
All right, thank you very much. If there are any other young people want to speak to us really quick, yes, what's your name?
My name is Belvin Awino. I'm so happy about the coming of our brother, His Excellency Barack Obama, and we are so happy. Though the students are not that happy because they've not had the chance to see him. He has just passed near our school and he's not even waved to us. So that has made us not happy, because the students have been standing near the road since morning and we've not had the chance to say hi. We've not waved to him. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Ken, those are the sentiments from the young to the youth to school-going children, and it's mixed reactions here, really. They're excited that their son is back to their homeland, but they're a bit irritable that he did not say hi to them and did not speak to him. This is all concerning security matters, and like I mentioned to you earlier, it's extremely tight. It's heavy security here. Secret Service are here. Foreign security officers are also here. Kenyan officers are here. Several truckloads of them. They're not allowing everybody else to access the venue, and most people are not even going to see the former U.S. President Barack Obama. But the request from the villagers here is quite simple, Ken, like I put it. They just want him to wave and say hello to them. And as much as it's not happening the way they want it, they were hoping that it will still happen with time. And I still have more people who still want to speak to me. Madam is also here. Let me find out her name and then get her sentiments about Barack's visit. What's your name, madam? Ongea Kiswahili ni sawa.
Najiita Valerie Achieng. Mimi ni mkaji wa hapa Siaya. About Obama's visit, sijafurahishwa na security. Hao watu wa security walikuwa wabaya. Hawakuwa wanataka hata tupite hapa kitambo. But sasa hivi tumeruhusiwa tupite, lakini Obama amekata hata kuwave tu.
Ungemwona leo ungemwambia nini?
Barabara zetu ni mbaya. Najua kuna hiyo pesa naweza tusaidia. Angetusaidia tu na barabara zetu. Hiyo barabara kutoka Siaya from Kisumu to Siaya. Portals ziko.
Asante sana. Ken, those are the remarks of the people here from Kogelo in Nyangoma. I'll still get a few of them as soon as I can and speak to them and get varied reactions from what they're saying. But essentially what their request is to have the former U.S. President Barack Obama
See a lot of people talking to you, Trevor, addressing is the absence of Michelle Obama. Ironically, I thought it should be a question, an obvious question to why Michelle did not come. I don't know what you know about her absence during this tour. What do you know about it?
It's interesting, Ken. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, we've not been given so much detail about the visit. However, we've been seeing some pictures online that the president had spent about 8 days in the neighboring Tanzania at the Serengeti National Park. But at that point, we saw some pictures and Michelle Obama was there. But we've not been informed whether she's coming here or not. So a lot of these things is just a wait and see, Ken, and also guesswork, because not all of the media personnel are allowed to even go inside the venue. So we're just waiting out here to find out who was there. We've been told that he was also supposed to come with a strong delegation from people like Oprah, Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa. Several people were supposed to be coming with him. We've not seen them so far. We don't have access to the venue. We don't know whether they showed up or they did not, and why, if they came, and why, if they did not. It's a lot of whys and questions, Ken, but we'll try and establish the reasons behind all these things, probably after the president heads out to South Africa.
Right, and Trevor, in the last hour or so, we've managed to see Obama at least twice. He's trying to make his way there. Probably right now he's inspecting some buildings out of that foundation, but we're not sure because, as you say, you're on the ground and the information is very scanty. But talk to us about another thing that attracted a lot of attention when Obama announced that he'll be coming to Kenya and to South Africa. Malik Obama, he's not featured anywhere. He's not being heard. He's not spoken since then, and we don't know anything about him. From the people you're talking to, they're not even mentioning him, Trevor.
It's interesting that you bring that up, Ken, because yesterday as we were coming here to Nyangoma in Kogelo, we passed by a place which we were told is owned by the president's brother, who is Malik Obama, and apparently we instructed some of those people that we shouldn't be there too long. He wasn't seeing eye to eye with NTV and us as a crew, and also he doesn't see eye to eye with his brother. He's been a bit MIA, missing in action, so to speak. We haven't gotten in touch with him yet, but we'll try and establish what his sentiments are about the president's visit. But I doubt if they've changed, Ken. This is just speculation, but we'll try and find out, because one thing I'm almost certain is that he's not here, but is within the area, but is not coming to the function. That's at least what we're being told here, but we'll try and establish the truth behind it. And like you mentioned, it's the details are very scanty. I can assure you 14 vehicles passed us heading to Mama Sarah Obama's homestead. We're now being told that he's already at the venue, and at the same time, we're told he can only pass through the road behind me. We didn't see him pass there, so we don't know how he got to the venue, if at all he's at the venue, or maybe he's still at Mama Sarah's place. So like you mentioned, the details are still very scanty. The security intact, understandably so, because they'd already told the media as well that this is a private visit. It's not a state function. It's not going to interact with as many people as possible. The venue is very enclosed, so there's so many questions that we still have, Ken, but we may not even get the answers to them even after he leaves.
Yes, Trevor, and just to bring you up to speed, I know from where you are and where the Sauti Kuu Center is, it's quite some distance, and Obama is already there. He's inspecting a building. We've seen a lot of walkarounds and walkabouts, and we've also seen his entourage, about 8 people, and one of them is Abbas Gulay, that Abbas of Red Cross is very close to Obama. We can also see Obama, the sister, and of course at the venue, Trevor, we see a lot of governors. Just to mention a few, we have Stephen Sang of Nandi, Professor Anyang' Nyong'o is there. We have Colonel Rasanga of Siaya. We've seen Mama Ida Odinga, and ironically, Trevor, yet again, we're not seeing Raila Odinga on the ground. We've seen several envoys also. I don't know if you know anything about the absence of Raila Odinga, because Mama Ida has been at the center of this all from morning. We've been seeing her quite a lot.
So based on the itinerary we had yesterday, Ken, he was meant to meet the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga in Nairobi. We were not informed whether he was supposed to be coming this way. However, there are several governors. I spoke to Colonel Rasanga, who's the CIA governor, yesterday, and he said that he's going to represent his people when he speaks to the former US President Barack Obama. We've been speaking to some of the residents here who say that they wanted to express their own intentions to the former US President and not via somebody else who's the governor. In as much as some of them expressed the confidence that they will be speaking, he can represent them ably. Some of them wanted to do it directly between the youth groups, the women groups, and also just speak directly to the son of their soil. The absence of Raila Odinga has not been explained to us, Ken, and in fact, this is how interesting this thing is. You see, you have access to the venue. I don't, and I'm just 1 kilometer away from it. That's how tight the security is. I cannot go beyond this point. So I will only depend on one media house, which is allowed to stream to every other media house. We are completely blind at this point. We are just flying with the people's views, sharing the exact same experience with the people who are here, who are just telling us a few moments ago that they're not happy, that they cannot see the son of their soil. They don't know what's going on. They wanted to get access to the venue, but the security is too tight. That's exactly what we're experiencing as well here. We've not been, even the governors, at some point the road behind me was closed. So if the governors came in, then they may have used the Ndori Road, which was earlier on closed as well, but they did not pass through here. But several of them have been there, so we are hoping that maybe they'll represent the views of the people from where each county that they come from. But the absence of Raila Odinga has not been explained to any of us here. We're just trying to piece the information together. We have sources who are remaining tight-lipped on certain details, but we're still trying to dig in deep and give you all the details, Ken.
All right, Trevor, just take a breather there as we see the pictures of Barack Obama inside the Sauti Kuu Center, inside the library. And Barack is accompanied by around 4 dignitaries inside there, including the sister Obama, who's also been at the focal point of this meeting since he arrived yesterday. We understand that he's leaving for South Africa later on, where he will be the headliner. He'll be speaking at a big function there. And of course, we know that Mandela would be celebrating, if he was alive, he would be celebrating his 100 years. And Trevor, just to take you back, the last time Barack Obama was in South Africa was during the funeral service of the late Nelson Mandela. So he'll be heading there. So those are the live pictures from the Sauti Kuu Center. Barack Obama inspecting that building that was built at the center, probably from the proceeds of his foundation. I'm not clear on that, just speculating on that. And he'll be heading to the venue in about 7 minutes. He's very strict on time, so he's supposed to go there in about 7 minutes. The function proper begins, and in this function they'll have around 3 hours from between 11 and 1. After that, as Trevor reports, it will be a private function. But if, Trevor, you can still hear me, talk to us about the promises, the things the people of Kogelo have been calling for. You know, they're talking about jobs, they're talking about unemployment, they're talking about poverty, they're talking about Senator Barack Obama High School, which has problems, dining hall, buses. What does that show you? Because this is the functions of the county government, ideally. The county government should have stepped in to do some of those things that they're asking from Barack Obama, who ideally should not even be doing those things, Trevor. All right, I'm told we can't speak to Trevor, but as soon as we get Trevor, we'll be speaking to him. But the pictures that you see currently, Barack Obama has arrived at the venue. It's about a kilometer, 800 meters to a kilometer from his grandmother's home where he was earlier. He left.
Love is walking together, talking together, saying together, being together. Say I want a moan for love.
Be speaking to the family private function for about 3 hours probably. They'll eat the traditional meals there. He'll be welcome to that. The grandmother initially indicated that she was disappointed Obama was not going to go home, but he went there. Probably she's preparing a meal for Obama, so they'll have a private function for about 3 hours there after he leaves for South Africa aboard his private jet that was specifically hired for this function. He'll be in South Africa. He'll be headlining a function there in South Africa, where we have some Kenyans, by the way, who have been invited to speak at that function, and then he'll leave. And also the story this morning from a lot of newspapers in Tanzania is that Barack Obama was in Tanzania for 8 days. He was at Serengeti. Serengeti is one of the main tourist attraction in Tanzania with the wildebeest migration and all very prestigious hotels there. So he was there for about 8 days, where it was also reported that Michelle was also there, but he came alone to Nairobi and is heading to South Africa alone. Well, we don't know what's going to happen after that, whether he's going straight back to his home in Chicago or he's going to Washington. We are not sure. But what we know that he's supposed to headline this function and later he'll be heading to South Africa. At this point, we take a short break. Trevor Mbiji is still on standby. We have Oko Kusa, Daniel Mule. They'll all be speaking to us about Barack Obama's visit to Siaya, Nyangoma, Kogelo village later. But first, we take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. We still have a lot coming on the other side.
Feria is a young, beautiful girl with a brilliant mind and many dreams to accomplish. She lives in one of the high-class neighborhoods, for her parents are the janitors of the building. Her hard work pays back by earning her a scholarship in one of the best, yet most expensive colleges. Feria attracts the attention of everyone in the college. The way she dresses, her attitude, and her intelligence. This draws the attention of the striking woman in the college, who is also the son of a well-known family in high society. And just as she gathers all her strength to reveal to him the truth, Emir approaches her with a ring and proposes to her. Feria knows at that moment
to NTV Today. My name is Ken Mijunga, and Barack Obama is in Kenya. Indeed, we've had a long conversation from Trevor Mbija, who is on standby yet again with a lot of people from Nyangoma, Kogelo. The last pictures we saw of Barack Obama was the former U.S. president inspecting a building by Saudi Koo. Now, that building will house a lot of those facilities, including a learning facility. He's supposed to head to that meeting, and in that meeting, he'll take around 3 hours from between 11 and 1. The function should have begun right now. Let's get to speak to Trevor Mbija, who has been reporting from Nyangoma, Kogelo for the last few hours. Let's speak to him. Trevor, good morning once again, and good to see you from the sunny Kogelo. Remember, you must bring Oduma and the goodies, as they said, and just make sure that you eat full before you come back. But talk to us. Barack Obama is expected at the center in a short while, and you've been speaking to people. There is appointment in Kogelo is palpable, but understandably, security, he's a former president, but talk to us about what we expect. It's top of the hour. What do we expect going forward, Trevor?
Ken, I've just been joined by a team of ladies who are singing. Let's listen into the song before we find out what it's all about. Asanteni sana. Ken, those are the sounds coming in from Nyangoma in Kogelo. Let's find out what the song is all about. The chairperson is joining me here. Mama, asante sana kuwa nasi. Kwa majina unaitwa nani?
Kwa majina naitwa Lucy Aoko Chieng. Mimi natoka sehemu nyingine Paporiang, sub location in Kogelo. Hii chama yetu inatoka Karumengulu. Iso Usaku. Iso Usaku tulikaa chini tukaona sisi tuna upungufu kwa manyumba zetu. Sasa tulianza chama kama kidogo kama merry-go-round. Hii merry-go-round tukafundishwa kupika keki, kutengeza sabuni ya miti, hii ya maji. Sasa tumefundishwa vitu nyingi, hata kushona vikapu, uteo. Sasa hii tuna maendeleo katikati yetu.
Una maoni yapi kuhusu kukuja kwa Obama hapa Kenya?
Tumeshukuru kwa sababu Obama ametuletea maendeleo hapa Kogelo. Sasa tumemshukuru sana na Mungu azidi kumbariki.
Naona mko na kwaya hapa, mnaenda kuimba wapi? Na hiyo wimbo ambayo mlikuwa mnaimba ina maana gani?
Hii nyimbo tunaimba so hawezi kushindwa kwa sababu tuna kila kitu, pesa tunayo, tunatengeza vitu vidogo na tunapata pesa. Ndio sababu tumeimba hiyo nyimbo.
Na hiyo wimbo mnafaa kuimba huko hivyo kwenye venue?
Tulikuwa tunataka tuingie pale na tuimbe mbele ya Obama, ndio Obama tuone vizuri na tuinue, tuna upungufu.
Lakini mna kibali ya kuingia huko? Ungemwambia nini kuhusu chanzo cha maisha hapa kunaendelea vipi?
Kama tungemuona live, mimi ningemwomba tu atuinue na biashara na tuendelee na maisha yetu ibadilike.
Asante sana. Ken, those are the sentiments of the SOWO women group. They say they're trying to be as independent as possible. They're going to head to the venue to try and access the former U.S. President Barack Obama and probably perform in front of him. That is very highly unlikely, Ken, but they're all dressed up hoping that they will get that access to the former president. But we'll see what happens there. They just gave us a slight song about the SOWO Foundation. They're saying that they're able to do everything on their own without anybody's support. However, they're saying that it would be nice to reach the former head of state, that is Barack Obama, to find out what he's thinking and also try to reach to him and get him to give them a bit of support as soon as they can. I'll still speak to a few people here who are still joining me. They still keep coming in, Ken, and the reactions are very varied. I'm trying to see if I can get a few positive people here and there, but the security detail has just derailed most of them. They're just frustrated that they're not going to see the head of state, but let's try and speak to a few of them here also, residents who are just trying to get access to the venue and find out what their sentiments are. Mama, asante kukuwa nasi. What's your name?
My name is Pamela Ching Jura. Yes. From Kogelo. I'm the daughter of this soil. Yes. Yes.
What are your sentiments about Obama's visit?
Today I'm very happy because my brother Obama promised us some years back ago that he will come, but he has come, and I thank him so much. Yes.
There have been a few complaints here that people cannot see him. Are you concerned about that?
Even me, I thought that I thought that we may get time or allowed to go and see him. But since it was very restricted that we cannot go and see him or talk to him. So we are just say it is okay because he's here today. We are just okay.
Are you confident that the governors will represent your views to him? The governors say that they will represent the views of the people to the former U.S. head of state. If you were to meet him today, what would you tell him?
On behalf of the people with disability on my side, I don't know if he have us in his mind or in his heart, our governor, Colonel Rasanga. But if suppose I would have that, I was given that time or opportunity to talk to Barack Obama, I would have maybe have so many to say it. But I don't think if the Colonel Rasanga as a governor is going to represent even people with disability and the challenges that we are facing in this county. Yes.
Thanks for making time for us. Ken, sentiments of the people of Siaya in Kogelo, I just want to speak to them either in Kiswahili or English. A few more people want to talk to me here. Let's find out what their sentiments are. Silas, what's your name? Unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Steven Odwaro Ngao.
Una maoni gani kuhusu kuja kwa Obama hapa Kogelo?
Kukuja kwa Obama, so far it's good because majorly is coming to help young youths, the side of education and the side of youth empowerment. And we like him to come back and welcome him so much in this village. Yes.
So much. One more view here. Kwa majina unaitwa nani?
Kwa majina naitwa Felix Owuor. I'm coming from Ugunja sub-county. I was happy by the time I was coming here, but the time when I reached here, I was not very happy because I'm hearing people saying that our governor is going to represent us. Yes, he's going to represent us in other things that he cannot represent us seeing Obama, and yet we are here. So I would like Obama to come even to wave for us. Yes.
All right, thank you so much. Yes.
Mimi naitwa Isaya Agwinge Odeyo. Kutoka. Mimi maoni yangu yani kukuja kwa Obama hapa tumekaribisha yeye mzuri sana akikuja kuona sisi hapa Kogelo. So angesaidia sisi na factories, another factories ya kusaidia watu kwa kazi, kwa maana watu watu wanakosa kazi, vijana wanahangaika. Sasa angesaidia pale ya kazi ya vijana, anaweza saidia vijana, kwa maana mimi nasoma kazi ya kupiga chakula. Yani tunateseka kwa njaa, yani kwa kukosa kazi na vijana nahangaika huko na huko. Sasa naomba Obama asaidia sisi na mambo ya kulete kitu ambaye anaweza saidia watu.
Sana. Ken, those are the sentiments of the people of Kogelo in Nyangoma, and they're very blood lines here, Ken. As long as they see a leader, they believe they can make a difference in their life, even if it's not part of their role. All they want from him is probably jobs. They've been getting a lot of complaints about infrastructure. The students from Senator Obama Secondary School wanted a bus. Very many requests coming through, but there are mixed reactions. First of all, they're very happy that the son of their soil is here. That's number one. Number two, what they wanted is to actually see him and probably even wave to him, but that may not happen. It might happen. It's still early, it's blazing hot here. We'll see how that event turns out and whether he'll get time to say hello to the people. But for now, it's back to you, Ken.
All right, Trevor Umbija, thank you very much. Trevor from Nyangoma, Kogelo village, where we expect in the next few minutes to see Barack Obama walk to the podium, where he expects to open up that function. We'll wait for that. And Trevor will still be speaking to us about what's happening on the ground. Actually, they're very far away. They're about 800 meters from that location. It's closed down by security, both here and international traveling with Barack Obama. Let's bring this discussion to studio before Barack walks to that podium. And I'm now joined by Frederick Okango. He is the Secretary General for Third Way Alliance, and Charles Munyui, who is a political and governance analyst, joining us in studio to speak about this, plus a lot of issues. I'd like to speak about two major issues, but first let's get Obama, because he'll be speaking for himself. Let's get it out of the way. A lot of those sentiments that we've had on air since Trevor started interviewing those people is, to me, passes like responsibilities of the county government. A school such as Senator Obama should not lack a bus, dining hall. That's the work of Colonel Rasanga. He's been there for 6 years, right? Now, if they're still asking for a bus and they're still asking for a dining hall sitting on stones, by the way, and expect Obama to come here and give them that, I mean, it looks like a failed county government for me. Let me begin with you, Fred.
Thank you, Ken. First of all, I think the excitement around the coming of Obama is now becoming something that will be frustrating to the locals of Nyangoma specifically. And I think that today, how many Kenyan leaders would be admired the way Obama is admired in Kenya, while he's not even a Kenyan? He just has Kenyan roots. That question points to the leadership. And I'm happy how you have started this discussion with the governor trying to ask for a bus. Under the principles and objects of devolution, as a county governor, those are issues that the county governor would have sorted. You don't need to wait for Obama to ask for a bus. I think those are misplaced priorities. And again, I want to relate it again to our bad leadership. Look at how Barack Obama is admired worldwide. Wherever he goes, people admire him because of the successful leadership that he exhibited in the United States. That is why the whole world admires him. Today in this country, I don't think there's any leader that can be admired in terms of what he has done for his people like Barack Obama. So my opening remarks on this would be, Obama is a private citizen now. He's visiting his relatives. Let him be allowed to visit his relatives. But it is a challenge to the leadership of this country that at this age and era, where we have got a devolved unit with the functions of a county government, where we are talking about letting the
Kayo chalilo maringo gigari nyamos, toyongore. Kayo chalilo maringo gigari nyamos, toyongore. Mos, toyongore awa mos, toyongore. Maringo gigari nyamos, toyongore. Kayo chalilo maringo gigari nyamos, mos, toyongore awa mos. Nyekayo, nyekayo, nyekayo. Gokoda, anmanyeka tu gokoda, maya galora gala. Maya galora, raurani teneta, raurani teneta. An mayoro birolima, kawana yombo kartedo. Dogini gisa. Alurio kawana tedo yoro denda, nyaimbo. Dogini gisa. Kaiwo charomna wadika tedo. Yawanyango romna niye. Anyango. Yawatelo romna niye. Kito madi watch na loi. Kagorine no yorongi kama. Gilala, ani nyono tuanyo na nyarlo. Lo bende milaro, ilare tolo lari, ipure tolo puri, tolo iki, di boro ero, di bolo dana nyaenga, di boro leño mokano ni jotugo, kani lo yoto. Di boro sungore asunga, kakorine no yorongi kama. Di boro sungore asunga, kakorine no yorongi kama. Tata yo mon mogo mama gabia, ebache kicho jaboro. Nen mara ero pesa biro madinyo gosu dhiang' okonyi. Mara ero pesa biro madinyiewo gosuko umi. Agulu no tugre kodi dringi nyako molo toni na magungalia. Agulu no tugre kodi dringi nyako molo toni na magungalia. Kendo agulu no tugre kodi dringi nyako molo toni na magungalia. Agulu no tugre kodi dringi nyako molo toni na magungalia.
Wapewe! 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 Much more of that is yet to come. So let's sit back, enjoy everything. Let's feel free. Thank you.
Tozana système à l'effelo. Vedi moto kopela metozo zikate. Wake up et bene kutu ya pete. Soki solo yo poni okende, yotikanga eta promesse ete ibaka beti obominga e. Azawana sina wenanga e déjà.
For over expectations. I don't know what they expected. They expected to see Barack Obama probably walking the streets of Nyangoma.
You see, Ken, it's very interesting because look at the stature of the person visiting. This is Barack Obama, a gentleman who has been admired worldwide, as I said. And one of the things that they pride themselves in, this is our son. So at any given time when they are not able even to have a close range, even just forget about shaking hands, just
waving. They wanted him to
then
wave.
they'll be very disappointed. Yes. And again, as my colleague has said, the leadership should put it in a way that you empower the people. You don't make them think that anytime a visitor comes visiting, they are bringing goodies. If you look at this country today, a lot of times when visitors, or rather leaders visit a certain area, the locals believe that they have brought certain type of goodies to them. And that is a very bad culture. So the people of Nyangoma, it is very unfortunate that Obama is coming as a private citizen and is coming to launch an initiative that is meant to empower the youth. Now, these locals, I also understand that at some point, they don't understand or they don't know why Obama is around. They just think Obama is coming to visit and to bring them some jobs, you know, some goodies from United States. And that's why you look and you see they are very frustrated. If you listen to what the lady said, they said they're just okay. They're not fine. They're just okay because they cannot even wave. So for me, my take is Barack Obama's visit is good and it should challenge this country. If today the leadership of this country, starting from the counties themselves, would launch such projects in every county, then we would be very proud Kenyans. We would not even be interested in Obama's visit. He would have visited the grandma.
It would be so low-key.
It would be low-key.
So low-key. No one would
He
care.
would have visited the grandma and fled to South Africa without noticing. Okay. But look, because Kenyans are hungry for jobs, Kenyans are hungry for good governance, Kenyans are hungry for the betterment of their lives, they look at a visitor coming and they all of a sudden they expect so much. It is unfortunate.
But that's the way we are cultured, okay? That's the way we are cultured. Even my home, when my uncles and aunties came to visit my grandma, I expected some Keringuru somewhere.
We must change that culture. We must change that culture and start participating in how we are governed.
Okay.
The reason why we have failed as a Kenyan citizen to participate in how we are governed.
Okay.
Public participation is one of the biggest words, or rather most mentioned words in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Article 10 is there, urban and cities management is there, all those places is there. But look, how many Kenyans take part in public participation of how they are governed. Very few. That is a challenge with the Kenyan people. Now, the county governors should not go and crowd Kogelo expecting that they learn something new. They have the tools of trade. They can use the Constitution and the County Government Act to ensure that such initiatives are all over this country, instead of going there to witness. Witnessing is not enough.
At the risk of getting stones thrown at me, they went there for a photo opportunity, probably. Because
most likely.
I don't see the value they're adding by going for that function.
They don't add value. People would want to appear on the front page of the press with Barack Obama. Barack Obama is not coming here to tell you what you need to do. Barack Obama, when he left this country in 2015, July, he told Kenyans what they need to do then. And today, he has come to visit the grandma to launch an initiative.
In
his village, yes, organized by the sister. If a sister, stepsister to Barack Obama, can do that, somebody who has no constitutional office, we have governors in this country with constitutional offices, with power, with money that has been set aside by the public from the national government, and they're not able to do anything.
Okay. Charles.
It's really sad, honestly, and like you said, photo ops are good, but deeper down, we need to ask ourselves whether we are doing the right thing. And it's amazing. I thought we've seen ourselves working on how we are going to construct houses for governors in the second term. Yeah. Yet that was infrastructure that was supposed to have been worked on in the first term. But because the first level of governors wanted to do things that will make them look good so that they can get re-elected, they never worked on infrastructure. Because the first thing that you do when you go to a new place is build yourself a house, or whatever it is that we are talking about, be it an assembly, be it an office, be it a residential house. That's what should have happened. And that's what we were saying with these governors. And they need now to sit back and ask themselves, that vocational, that facility that is there, we never knew it was coming up. We've just seen it right now.
Exactly.
We didn't know it was coming up.
So
Obama should be moving from Siaya to Kisumu to another county, opening such facilities today, courtesy of the governors that are there and the county executive.
And I think you would have been glad, taken around 3-4 days in the country to do that.
To open those vocational.
And less in Serengeti.
Precisely. Yeah. So if only our governors would see that and stop, laying claim to things that they have not done, or claiming to be planning on doing things all the time, planning and planning and planning. We need to see things happening. But more importantly, the expectations of the people should have been managed, because it would seem that did not happen, because they expected to interact on a one-on-one with the former president of the United States. It must always be remembered that his security issue is something that cannot be taken lightly.
It's still the property of the United States.
Precisely. So it doesn't matter how you feel, that is a reality, and we have to be able to deal with it. Their leaders should have been able to talk about such things when you give them an opportunity here, because I've seen many of them coming to this station talking about this. It should have been explained to them so that you can just sit at home and watch on television what's going on.
Actually, you're better placed watching on television.
But can look at even how they don't even trust their leaders. The lady just said,
why are you coming to represent us?
You are representing me and I'm here.
Yes,
how?
Why?
Listen, it means it just exposes the distance that we have in our leaders. Because they have failed to do certain things that would make the lives of the locals better. That is why even the locals don't want to be represented anymore. They want to be there themselves to witness whatever they're witnessing. So it's very unfortunate,
Okay. I see the pictures there. That's Gideon Moy. I'd like to talk about something. I'd like to talk more about that visit. Let me take you back to a story that has been carried in the papers. And this is still about Obama. Obama meets Raila Odinga and praises unity deal between the two. I want you to comment about that. The unity deal between the two.
This is the best thing that has happened in this country for a very, very long time. And I think Obama is also lucky that he's coming to this country for the first time in a long time, when the issues of trust have been sorted out. At least for now, that has been sorted out. He's coming into a country where the leader of the opposition and the leader of the party in power, Jubilee, are working together and in a structured manner to deal with issues of concern to this, to the residents of this, to Kenyans, to citizens of this country, and even our neighbors. For the first time, we have a country where you can now say we can be able to enjoy peace and tranquility without any fear of something happening. And I think it's been tested. That has been tested. The relationship between Raila Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been tested. by their colleagues, by their partners at each level of be it the opposition or or Uhuru himself. You've seen a lot of things coming up that would be a threat to the relationship they have. So I think Obama coming at a time like now, he cannot be happier than today. Number one. Number two, issues of corruption, much as we'll come to them, will also be looked at, and the US and Obama specifically are very clear on how some of these things need to be handled. So in as far as cohesion is concerned as a country and peace, it will be achieved. And like I said, Obama must be very, very happy that this is happening, and he's come at a time like this, when now he can be all over the place talking about this vocational training, youth empowerment, and all those things without having to remind us that we need to live in peace as Kenyans.
Okay, and according to a statement that was sent from the former Prime Minister's office, that's Raila Odinga, during the talk, Obama expressed support for building bridges, that's the initiative, and the war on corruption. But there is no mention anywhere of Obama talking about where we were before we reached building the bridges and all. Is this time just to cover everything up and just move on with life, because that's where we're headed?
Ken, first of all, I would want also to remind the viewers that if you looked at the photos that were allegedly coming from Kempinski when Raila Odinga met President Obama, in those photos there was nowhere that the leadership of NASA was present. It was only Raila Odinga and the daughter. So again, that was a private meeting between Raila Odinga's family and President Barack Obama. Maybe because Obama has roots in Siaya and Raila Odinga come from Siaya County. Maybe because there was nothing like it was official that the NASA team would be meeting Barack Obama. And if there was any discussion, as I saw in one of the Raila Odinga's tweets, that he embraced the handshake and the building bridges team, I think that is his personal view as a peace-loving global leader, Barack Obama, and it was not in any way reflecting what he would want to say if he were the president today. Remember, when Obama was leaving this country the last time he visited, he disparaged the NASA leadership, and he told them they have to grow up, if you remember that. And he told them, if you don't grow up, you keep on...
That time we were COD.
Yes,
we were COD.
Yes, and it's the same leadership, it's the same leadership, you know. So he told them off. I don't think in any way that the coming of Barack Obama has got anything related to handshake. The handshake was welcome, including our political party, Third Way Alliance Kenya. In fact, I keep on saying we were the first people to call Raila Odinga and congratulate him as president that this was good. But look, today we have a leadership that even after handshake, even after national prayer breakfast meeting, people are still campaigning about 2022, an election that is 4.5 years away. I think what this country needs, if they were to learn from Barack Obama, then they need to put the people first. In Kenya, the leadership put themselves first. And that's why they are still looking at certain individuals and thinking that these are debts we need to pay. On corruption alone, Obama talked passionately about it. I remember when he was giving his address and his challenge to the youth, he mentioned it. Look, if we are not able to take the bull by its own and say enough is enough, at the young people of this country, then we're also going to slow this country down. We must now take stock of what happened in the last election. These building bridges is coming at a time when Barack Obama is also visiting. The challenge that, or rather the learning lesson that you should take from Barack Obama is when Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump, a candidate that Obama was supporting, we never saw what we saw in this country. Well, there were different divergent opinion about the winner, but we never saw people dying. In this country, over 300 people died because some people believed that they were the winners.
But we saw massive demonstrations.
Across the United States without death. That's what I'm saying.
That's because of how they handle their demonstrations as a constitutional
because
right.
They're democratic.
Yes.
They're democratic. In our country, we are not democratic. We are not. And that's why I'm saying, while the private visit of Obama is private as it's called, the learning lessons that the leadership of this country must take is how politics are done.
Okay.
The politics of issue, not politics where we are ethnically mobilized. Look at the people visiting Obama today. Some of them have got political interest or they have interest in leading this country. What key lesson are they learning? When they leave that place, if at all they have an opportunity to interact with Barack Obama, are they going to tell the electorates that, you know, we met Barack Obama and this is the lesson we have learned? Or they are going to sit in the offices and tomorrow pick a microphone and go to a rally and start saying, wale watu, wale watu. I think that is not the case. We must learn as a country from the visit. We must learn as a leadership from the visit. That is the only way that will grow this country.
The first time Barack Obama came to this country was 1987.
Yes.
Yes.
Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi.
Was the
second
president.
time was 2006. That was Kibaki. The third time was 2015, right?
Yes.
If my calendar is right.
Yes,
Probably there are other
President
visits earlier.
Yes, yes.
But those are the ones that I'm trying to, at least in,
Yes.
in 1987,
Yes,
I was about 4 years old. So I know that, we have seen him come, and he has been very consistent even in the manner he's done his things.
Yes.
And that's the reason why perhaps he's celebrated. I see those pictures of Obama now heading from the Sauti Kush Center. Perhaps Barack is about to get to the venue of that meeting, which was supposed to begin 3 minutes ago. Let's wait as soon as we have that. But gentlemen, I don't want Barack to come and start speaking before I talk about one of the things that is big in this country today. Apart from just covering Barack Obama, we're covering the arrest of about 8 top leadership of KPLC. Very important. At the back of that, I am reliably informed that Nudin Haji is pursuing the case of extradition against Chris Okemo and Gishuru. You see, that was KPLC, Gishuru, KPLC, Okemo, Energy, and then right now we're looking at 8 top leadership of KPLC. I think that's a statement in itself. Let me begin with you.
It is a statement, and I think we must start believing in these matters of dealing with corruption. And unless Kenyans believe in sustainability of the same, and against the backdrop of the frustrations that they have enjoyed courtesy of the judicial system in this country that takes too long, and you know, justice delayed, as they say, is justice denied, we must now start believing that those that perpetrate corruption will be arrested, be arraigned in court, and and serve their time in jail if it has to be that way. And I think, to me, KPLC is one area that has been a cash cow for a very, very long time. And every time I ask myself, how come we pay so much for electricity in this country? Even when it rains so hard, it's not like we're using fuel to generate the electricity. It's just water. And there are no other added costs other than basic taxes. So how come electricity tariffs, the cost of electricity is so high? Even homesteads and households, you find yourself given a bill of 20,000, 30,000 shillings that you have to pay before you have a discussion with these individuals. Where is this money going to? How come we have a problem with these issues? I remember a few weeks ago, when there was a problem of topping up the tokens. And you do 2 days before you get your token. Kenyans made noise. Someone went to court, and today as we speak, you are receiving your token even before the M-Pesa message comes saying that account has been debited to pay for that. So what happened? What is the magic that has happened? So I think, to me, the consistency with which the DPP and to be fair to the multitask agency that is working on these matters, including the DCI's office, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, and asset recovery, now we can see a situation whereby there is a pathway, it's a clear pathway on how these things are going to be dealt with. And imagine an individual who has been appointed into a position, awaiting vetting, so that nominated, then awaiting vetting so that they can be appointed. Awaiting vetting so that they can be appointed, then you are being charged with corruption elsewhere. So it means there is an office that is functional. Otherwise, even in the past, that nomination would have resulted in the whole story being covered up and everyone going back to their drawing boards again. So I think a lot of things are happening. That office is a respectable office. All of a sudden, I must say the DPP's office now, we're starting to see what's going on. The goodwill is there. Moving forward, we are seeing a situation whereby, number one, it will preempt corruption, because people will know now it's no longer business as usual. And the moment you preempt, then you start sorting out the problem. Much as we're sorting out what has already happened in the past and what is happening currently. A situation, and you'll see, and I'm sure we'll talk about it, even people wanting not to be arrested when they're in office, until maybe later in life when they are out of office or dead, as it were. So I think, to me, a lot is happening in KPLC. It needs to be looked at deeper so that we start paying even half what we are paying, because the cost of that corruption is moved to
monopoly
the people,
and dominance. Definitely. I know you want to talk about the fact that Dr. Chuma was about to be vetted, you know, very strange. Yes. Before we talk about that specifically, you comment on the fact that we have top managers of KPLC, complete shutdown of that place. There's no manager left there. Going to DCI, spending over there during the weekend, and then today we expect them in court unheard of.
You know, Ken, I think KPLC has shut down. You have 14
We have a
senior managers.
we have a blackout
at
KPLC.
14 senior managers.
At 8 top.
Exactly.
Yes.
At the police custody, including the former MD and CEO. What does that mean? That means that that institution has collapsed. Now, KPLC is a public entity. Under the principles of public finance, there shall be prudence and responsible use of public resources. KPLC, in their report, they said that they paid KenGen, where they buy power from, 34 billion. In KenGen report, it shows that they were paid only 29 billion. The question we are asking as Kenyans...
Where is the 6 billion?
Where is the 6 billion? Number two, if you read the press statement by Nudin Haji, by the way, congratulations once again, Nudin Haji. You are doing a good job. If you look at that statement, some of the charges that they are facing there is Economic Crimes Act. That is a serious crime. These people imported, or rather, they were supplied with fake transformers that were even leaking. And their own technicians never tested. That is what worries me most. In fact, they cited that it would be difficult and expensive for their engineers to travel all the way to do an inspection before they are supplied. What is that? This is issue to do with power. You are killing people. To me, this is terrorism. Because if those transformers blow, do you know the damage you are causing to the consumers in terms of electronic wastage, in terms of lives? This is terrorism. And I want to believe that those people should be jailed, charged, and should be convicted, jailed, and charged. Because, Ken, look at it this way. There was a court case with one of the suppliers, Nukon, the Indian one, and then Mua. And there was an agreement of out-of-court settlement. What do you call it? KPLC agreed that some of these transformers are faulty. But if they agreed in their own admission, how did they reach a compromise and then agree to supply the same faulty transformers? That is where we say it is no longer theft. It's no longer corruption, it is theft of public money. Because they knew that whatever was supplied is faulty and substandard. And therefore, they were going to make a big margin from each transformer.
Yes.
Those transformers are not cheap. They're very expensive. If you get them at a cheaper rate because you don't care, then you are stealing from the public. That is why we are saying not only the 14 managers, even the technicians are accomplices here. I would want to encourage Nudin Haji, go for the technicians. Under Procurement Act, the goods must be inspected. They were never inspected. So, while it is good to arrest the people that bear the greatest responsibility as the 14 managers, the technicians also had a duty of care to the Kenyan people to inspect this. They never did that.
I say Mr. Obama has just arrived at the venue. If that's not the clearest sign that Barack Obama will be coming there, I don't know which will be or what will be the clearest sign. And very interesting conversation indeed. And thanks to John Kamau, we knew about the transformers, and now we are talking about the transformers. You remember straight answer to John Kamau's article then, the denials by KPLC. It's just come round to haunt them, and we are glad that the nation has been vindicated when it comes to that.
Let me tell you what, and this is a pointer as to how this country has been run, by the way. And every time I have been Jubilee, and you remember you've been here. And I have always believed in the leadership. Every time we are told, we hear Transparency International saying we are ranked up there in terms of the most corrupt country, we used to think it's a joke and it's just harassment on the part of the civil society and other organizations. But now we can see, it's getting clearer now, and nothing came at a better time than the handshake, let me tell you, to be honest, because for the first time, Kenyans are seeing things in perspective. I want to believe it's not only KPLC. If you go to all these organizations, government agencies, that is the rot that is there. And I want to, I am praying that Nurdin, the DCI, and all those that are charged with that responsibility will go for all of them. I'd rather we clear jails of everyone else and have
then
these
we
guys.
put them in because they're committing the biggest crimes.
Yes.
I think Obama is in the building, and because I see them upstanding, I think the national anthem is on. Let's listen in.
presented Sauti Kuu.
Juliana chungiko, am kokikoa toka dio, odudong teyo mio.
Right, and that's the national anthem paving way for the official beginning of this function at Sauti Kuu Center, where Barack Obama is supposed to inaugurate this new building. Later on at around 1 to 5, he'll have a private meeting with the family, and after that he'll be headed to South Africa. But as we wait for him to come to the podium there, because he's the headliner of this function, let's bring back the discussion here. So over the weekend, we see this high-profile personnel in police custody, and today they're expected in court. Now, this is not the first that we're seeing of Nordin Haji, but I'm wondering how far, because it's not what he's doing, but it's the results that Kenyans want to see. I'm wondering how far he can push it.
I think he's done his job, if you ask me. And I think there is something that Kenyans must not lose sight of, something that we are calling the multi-agency team that involves all these players, including the DPP, because the DPP deals with information and documents that have been processed by the DCI. There is the aspect of, at the end of the day, in the event there is conviction in court, someone is going to go and recover those assets that have been stolen and proceeds of crime, as it were. We have a judiciary. We have a public service commission that is involved, because most of those are the employees of the public commission. So the multi-agency team that has been doing these things. Remember, the DPP just came the other day, was a director of the National Intelligence Service. So it's not like someone who does not know how these things are done. And I want to believe the kind of investigation the DCI is doing are what is usually called prosecution-based, to the extent that now it's no longer business as usual. It is a question of investigating in a manner that will help and support a prosecution. Because at the end of the day, the DPP will prosecute, but if he doesn't have the right information, if he doesn't have the right people, if investigations are shoddy, we'll go back to where it all started. And I think that's why people are panicking, because for the first time, the DPP would rather not charge someone unless he's convinced that this can go places. Number two, there's also something I think Kenyans missed when we established a division in the High Court to deal with corruption and economic crimes. That is there. And over and above that, there is what is called practice directions that were given, that were launched by the Chief Justice. Basically, what we are saying is that you'll find this is going to be fast-tracked. It will not move at the snail speed that we've seen matters in court taking so very long. There will be no adjournment, among other things, and that's an agreement that is there. So when the matters start, they will run the full course without a lot of interruption. We'll see people getting jailed or released in very good time, and I think that is what Kenyans have been looking for. They want you arrest, shoot dead, or something to that extent. So if it can be stretched a little bit, and then 2 months, 3 months later, we have people in jail, either appealing or otherwise, that is what Kenyans are looking for. Otherwise, they even have a problem with people being released on bond, you know.
But increasingly, you see that's changing. Even getting you bail is increasingly becoming difficult.
Because the assumption has always been, number one, as long as you're arrested, you will be taken to court, you'll make an application for bail, and you'll go home. Now, the courtesy of this arrangement that is there, whether it's written or not, it's quasi or written, there is now, the judiciary is also looking twice at how do we help in dealing with these matters, because we are the third arm, we are the third arm of government.
People who have been sent there
Precisely.
on corruption allegations.
Exactly. Yeah. So now they are looking at it and saying, as much as you can be released, but can we go through this? Because the car you're bringing, the document to a car or land that you're bringing could be a proceed of crime in itself. Yes. So can we establish that what you're bringing, or your associates or your friends or relatives, has not been a proceed of crime, much as you have that right to do all this. So a lot of things are happening now, and importantly, and I believe one day we will get to know, I want to believe those people do not have access to the property that they have acquired, whether legitimately or not, the money that they have amassed, whether legitimately or not, until this matter runs through the whole hog and it's established whether they are guilty or not. Okay. If they have indicated, it's okay. But if not, And that's what Kenyans are hoping. Then we'll start finding people now, the jails filling up with the right people.
Yes.
And then we release the chicken thieves.
The good thing is right now it's easy for a common Mwananchi Wanjiku to get bail than before. You know, Kitambo it was you get bail. If you're a rich man, straight, you don't even go to court. You send your lawyer, and straight they'll get anticipatory bail. If not that, you'll go to court. You get bail the next day, you'll be out. Even the same day. Right now, as a common citizen, you are likely to get bail than any of these persons. But as you speak to us about even the morality of the fact that these people still have the tag name MD of KPLC. I don't think it should be there. I think you should be arrested, taken to the DCI, and straight you become a civilian. They deal with you as a civilian.
And I think, Ken, you're right. And I think that's what the drafters of the 2010 Constitution envisioned. You see, there's what we call principles and values of public service. It outlines of what we call high ethnic morals, high standards of ethnic morals. By the time you are arrested as an MD, and that office depicts something, you're a public, you're an MD of a public entity, and then it means your ethics is questioned. You know, so already these people, once they are mentioned in a corruption case, they should drop those titles and become ordinary citizens. And I've also had a problem with taking such people to a special court. If you steal a chicken today, you are taken to an ordinary court and you are charged as a thief who stole chicken. These people, who we call high profile, steal public money and then they're taken to special courts. I think there's a problem. But I want to go back to what he said.
Is it a special court or just a special division of the High Court?
It's a special court. It's a special court. Okay. Now, I want to go back to what my colleague here said, the multi-agency approach. I would encourage Nudin Haji to now make use of the Auditor General. Not only these MDs of parastatal and the rest, we have also seen the theft that is happening in the county governments. Today, some of them are seeking for immunity. I'm sure you'll be talking about that. But look, if today the Nudin Haji, the ODPP, would use the Auditor General as an expert witness alone and use his accountants who do the audit as prosecution witnesses, then all these governors would be jailed, present and previous, because there's been a magnitude of misappropriation of funds in those counties. If you read the Auditor General report, at the bottom, there's always a recommendation. And the ones that I've read personally, the recommendation is surcharge the following. Surcharge. Listen, Ken, we cannot run away. While we believe and now praise the ODPP, let us now empower the Auditor General, because the findings of the Auditor General are constitutional and those are right facts that can be presented in a court of law. Nudin Haji should now go for them. Let me give a case in example. When a magnitude of 5 billion is misappropriated in a county and there is no explained expenditure attached, do you know, Ken, what 5 billion can do in a county today?
Okay.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money. And I see Barack Obama has arrived in the building. I think the program is beginning. Let's listen in.
Thank you so much. Wapi makofi yao. Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them. Wapi makofi, wapi makofi, wapi makofi. Give them more, give them more. Give them more, give them more. All the invited guests, welcome to Sauti Kuu. I want you all to turn to the screens and watch this short video.
This is Sauti Kuu. We work with kids who are from 4 to 25 years old. I want them to be hungry for something better, because the minute they're hungry for something better, they will work harder to get it.
Carbohydrates, proteins, beans. Yes. Sim. Yes. Vitamin. Mangoes. Yes. Kales. Yes. Sweet potato. Yes.
If you're not sure of the answer, when you look at a question mark, you ask either us, if you had internet, if somebody has a smartphone, they go and Google for you. And one of the biggest problems in the urban areas in Kenya and most of Africa is the job creation. What I'm telling the young people is that you're not wealthier by being in the urban area with a white-collar job sitting at a desk, because many people who are in the urban areas do not earn very much. They earn very little money, 150 euros a month. So what they need to realize is, with this soil that they have, the land that they have, that they can cultivate and get an income. I tell the kids, you can still study and become a doctor, you can still work behind a desk, but make sure you're equipped for it. And to be equipped for it means, in the urban area, to be financially secure. Everything we've grown here, partly it is food, it is fruit. Here we have our oranges, and we do the aesthetics. We grow these plants, but at the same time, it's not just aesthetics, because this is also medicinal. Aloe vera, again, medicinal. So all these things are things that we're looking at, possibilities of how the community can realize how valuable what they have. All this is wealth. It's all natural. It's growing wild.
These goats normally feed on napier, shrubs, caliandra, and lechuga.
Big livestock is more complicated to keep. Cows need more places to go and get grass and eat grass. So what we introduced is, we're going to keep goats, because when we give the goats to the children to take home and breed them and make an income from them, they have a smaller space that they need to keep the goats in. And we take all of the dropping, and that dropping becomes manure. There's one of our goats. Hi, good morning. How are you? The challenges we face, people who are in the countryside, they come back to retire, or they're considered failures, and whoever is farming is considered a failure. They forget that that's what feeds them. And on top of that, the rural schools, when they punish children, they make them go to the farm. So you see farming as a punishment, which of course, if it's a punishment, nobody wants to do it. That's why I always say poverty is no excuse. Poverty is a creation in our minds, in our heads. Yes, we do need money. There's certain things we need money for, but not for everything. And if we can get everything else, especially for the people in the rural area, in the countryside, from the land, we will be wealthier by that. And because most of Africa, this is my opinion, is not yet so populated, most of Africa is still rural, we have a chance. So don't see yourselves as poor because you come from the rural area. See yourselves as rich, you just haven't organized yourself. My grandmother still uses the traditional medicines. If I'm feeling ill, she uses the traditional medicine on me, and then we talk about it. And sometimes even I notice I'm a bit reserved and a bit scared. Oh, she wants me to drink that. How can I be sure? You know, you're almost feeling like you need the guy in the white coat to give it a tick and check and say, okay, it's okay, before you do it. But she's 95. She's managed to look after herself using what she has to get what she needs in order to live this long. This is our demonstration garden. This is where we invite the parents to come and see what we are planting here so that they can't argue and say, oh, you've planted that, but that's because we can't do it. And we say, why not? You have exactly the same soil that we're using. Here, this is a plant called Rosella, and the juice that's made out of it is very good for iron deficiency. Everything on this plot is organic. And the reason is not because we're trying to be fancy or anything. It's just because, first of all, it's the way of life of the people here. Pesticides cost, so you do it traditionally. So we take a mix of chili pepper, papaya leaf, and charcoal, and it's mixed together, and you pour it on the plant. I'm also... Hune kitchen garden maru. Okay. Amosi. Nadi baba. Engema. Amosi. Ronnie. Kara kitchen garden ni ber kama. Ronnie's family is an example. They look poor, but they're not poor. He's just explaining to me how he heard about Sautiku. He was doing nothing at home, so he decided to go to Sautiku. And when he went to Sautiku, they were teaching the young people a lot of things. And then he heard, oh, they're teaching about agriculture. So he said, I'm going to do the agriculture bit. So he learned how to start a kitchen garden, the composting, and then he came back home and he told his grandma, Granny, let's do this. So what the kitchen garden does also is with the vegetables, they're able to plant to eat. So part of our project, which is called Grow to Eat. But because they grow more, the surplus, the grandma takes it to market. And with the money that she gets from the market, she can pay for him some of his school fees. She pays for his books, if he needs a new school bag. So she's able to support him and help him with it. And actually, it's his kitchen garden, so he's actually already earning money. Being ma mari, sani loss of pesa. Inge mano. Inge sani inga loss of pesa gi puote. Inge mano. Ronnie is showing me where they store their vegetables and their grain from their farm. As you can see, they're storing it in his little house. He has his bed here at one end, and at the same time they're storing grain. And as you can see from the grain, and what for me is so important, this is our indigenous maize, more or less. You can see that it's not your perfect white or yellow maize, it's got purple. This is the maize that you can take this and keep it, and when you need to grow your next harvest, you put it in the ground and it'll grow. It is not GMO. And these people can sustain themselves because you don't need money. All you need to have good storage so your grain doesn't get bad. I asked Ronnie about why he prefers to be a farmer eventually, and why doesn't he want to be in an office? Many kids want to go to Nairobi and end up in an office. He just said to me that he realized and appreciated what land and the value of the land is. And I asked him, what did you used to do before? And he said he'd go to the farm because he had to, because his grandmother told him, but he never enjoyed it. He used to think, oh, I don't feel like doing this, I'd rather just go to school. And now he's appreciating and understanding what it means to farm the land. So he does it and enjoys it. So every Saturday he's in his kitchen garden. Every Saturday he's helping his grandmother with the farm when he's not at school.
Discount. D for D? Discount. And now, if discount is in percentage, you know how to convert, isn't it?
Yes.
If you don't have discount, you have selling price and a market price, you can get it. Yes. Isn't it? Yes. So you just see what you have and what you don't have. Use what you have to get what you don't.
See, this is the Sautiku hut. It's our learning hut. We have a library here where the kids learn to read and write and speak English in particular.
Yes, yes.
The rural kids, I always feel, and it really frustrates me, they're disadvantaged because they are going and doing exams at every stage in their school life in English, when English is not their first language, it's not their second language, and sometimes it's not even their third language.
All this one. Let's go back to our commission and discount.
How do we equip our children to succeed in that constellation? 3/4 of the rural kids who don't pass exams is not because they're not smart, it's because they didn't understand. They didn't understand the question, and if they understood the question, they couldn't articulate themselves so that they could be understood, so the question could be right, and that is a crime. We are committing a crime to our children because they're not succeeding. And we're giving the wrong impression of who's smart and who's not smart. Just because I speak English doesn't mean I'm smart.
If a woman sells goods worth
Africans are so much smarter in many ways, so much more flexible, and so much more richer in what they really know and what they contain, the potential in us. Because we adapt, we take on so many cultures, so many languages, and we excel. You know, and still what makes us, that core of what makes us, our own languages, our own traditions, comes too short every time. And as Africans, we need to start appreciating that. That's our story. That's the story the kids need to hear and they need to tell. And that's what needs to be able to be articulated. Whatever language they're then forced to use, it needs to come across. But if they have their own language to start with, and then they're able to relate to the foreign languages that they're dealing with, I mean, nobody can even touch them. We have this teepee, which is now looking a bit faded, and what we call it is the reflection space. We have children that are sometimes very aggressive, and the way they treat each other, I see it every time because that's how they get treated. There are many kids in one family, so when they do that here, we tell them this is a gentle space, this is a space where it's non-threatening, this is a safe space. And any child that is in here, we know that we have to give them their space. I guess I'm the heartbeat of what happens at Sauti Kuu, but I'm not the specialist. So I'm always looking for people who are specialists in this area who have the same vision as I am to come on board and help us with the work we're doing. Because I can do a certain amount, but I don't have all of that deep knowledge. But we have everything here. It's just about unraveling it and exposing it to the community and to the children, to their families, so they start tapping it and start using it to improve their lives. That's really the job that I'm here to do, is to trigger off and to get the partners on board and supporters on board who help me do this. You know, especially people who are specialists in organic farming. This space is actually the vocational center. It's more or less the heart of what we're going to be doing here, because this is a space where youth are going to learn different skills, vocational skills, around construction, everything that has to do with building a house. So what I'm telling the youth at Sauti Kuu is to learn a skill that will earn you money. With the money you earn, if you can save it well, look after it, you can still educate yourself, you can still go to university, you can still get that degree to become a doctor, an architect, or whatever. We're hoping that we'll be able to make it a space that the community uses as well. And that way, as we try to make the families sustainable economically in the way they live their lives and give them food security and livelihood security, we also as an organization have to look at how we give ourselves security and how we become sustainable. Traditionally, we had something called a dero. We built a storage space and all our grain was stored there, and it lasted us the whole year. So people trusted each other, nobody stole from each other because everybody had their own grain. And what happened is now, because people are poorer, crime has infiltrated the community, so you can't have that kind of storage. So what we have done, which is unprecedented and unusual, is we've created a storing space. And the whole of the bottom of the vocational center is a basement. This is going to be the space where the families, the community is going to be able to store their grain. So what happens there is that we're ensuring food security, not just for our families and our children, but also for the community, but we're also ensuring the monies are coming in so we can also sustain ourselves. Even though we say use what you have to get what you need, we're also saying they must be challenging the idea of getting things just for free. You know, what's in it for them, what's in it for us? And Sauti Kuu, the non-profit, and we're able to work at the way we work is because we're able to teach our beneficiaries that they too must also contribute. They too must also give something towards what we're doing for them, because otherwise they don't value it. I'm so excited about this project, especially here. I can't wait for when this is full of grainage stored and we're organized and it's the drought period and the families are coming and saying, oh, I need to go into store B because I need to pick up my stuff. I'm taking it to market. I need to make some money. I need to feed my family, and I'm able to. That's going to be a big, big special day. So I can't wait.
A round of applause, a round of applause. That is the amazing work Dr. Uma has been doing here. A round of applause. Hold the hands of the person next to you. Hold the hands of the person next to you. Can you hold the hands of the person next to you? Raise it up, and say, we are Sauti Kuu. Say, we are. We are Sauti Kuu. That's it. Thank you so much. And to cap it up, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Pascal from Sauti Kuu. Karibu. A round of applause for him.
My name is Pascal Odoch. I'm 11 years old. I joined Sauti Kuu in 2014, and I came to Sauti Kuu because it is a safe space where I learn and make friends. I would like to welcome you in our opening and training center. Join us in our opening celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's appreciate Pascal. Thank you so much. South Africa is celebrating Nelson Mandela's 100th birthday. And who better to do it well than Mama Africa? A performance by Yvonne Chaka Chaka. Okay, welcome.
Very good morning to everyone and all protocol observed. And to our sister, congratulations. And our black president. Viva Obama, viva! Kogelo, oh yeah, Kogelo! Sauti Kuu, Sauti Kuu. You are amazing, and I'm happy to be here with everyone today. As the daughter of Nelson Mandela, I am given back my dignity. Thank you to all of you who've given me my freedom back. The song I'm going to sing for you is called Amazing Man. I've been very lucky to meet this man, talk to him, and do everything with him. And the song is for our African leaders. Africa is not the dark continent that everyone believes it to be. This is a great continent. I just think it's poorly managed, but we can do it. Hit it, please. This is with Lady Smith, Black Mambazo. He's an amazing man, given to us by God. He taught us to love, be free and forgive. His name is Nelson Mandela. Called his people Rainbow Nation. Holy Shasha Madiba Mandela. All the people in the world would give anything to touch you. Even those who called him terrorists never believed he could rule. He walked out with a smile and embraced his tormentors. He's the man of the world. Holy Shasha Madiba Mandela. You and I will have to learn to live together. Now you and I will have to learn to work together. He's the teacher, he's the leader, and the servant of the people. He's the greatest advocate. only Barack Obama. Yeah. Thank you, Masai. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mikhail.
So much. A round of
Thank you.
applause for Madame Yvonne.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And my son and the composer of the song.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Yvonne. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Madame Phoebe Asio. Welcome. Karibu.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. Those of you who have supported this project, I want to thank you personally. And I want to say this, that it is possible to change the equation. It's not been easy for this region, but Auma has made it work. Auma, I thank you for being brave. Thank you for being such a wonderful child. You know we love you and we care. Adwa nyiso Uganda Luo niya, ng'ama jakwecho e piny Uganda Luo onge duol, ok onyal gomba kata e anyuola. Auma en nyako miluongo ni Migogo. Ka en dichuo tawa iluongo ni Migosi. Auma en Migosi. Itimo gima lich ne Uganda Luo. Itimo gima lich ne piny mane otuoni. Ing'eyo ni piny osewa higni mathoth ahinya. Kendo ok osebedo mayot ne Uganda ni mondo odongi. Gimitimoni dhi loko ngima nyithindo, ok e gweng'ni kende. E gwenge teme e pinyni. Agombo ahinya mondo replicate gini kuma ne ae e piny Homa Bay County. Nikech chutho di tero gini kuonde te mondo nyithindo madonjo e weche ma okare obed gi geno, obed gi hope. You've given them some hope. Auma, you've done it for us. I just want to thank you for who you are. And I want to thank you for who you've been all along. I've walked that journey with you, and I know it has not been easy. But I know that you're equal to the task. For Barack, I want to tell you, we thank you for coming back home. You know, east or west, home is still the best. And please come back more often. This is an area of very strong men and women. Some of the best scientists in Africa come from this land. You know, some investors will do us a lot of good. Think about it. I know that America has some way of dealing with the water hyacinth. It's denying us our livelihood. Please, please, find somebody in your country that can address the issue of the water hyacinth that is causing havoc to the health of our people and denying us the livelihood that so desperately need. I want to thank our governors who are here now. I want to thank our members of parliament and of the leaders of this area who have come to us. But even more importantly, I want to thank every single one of you who have supported this project. Please repeat this elsewhere. The children of Africa need this help. Thank you, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Phoebe Asio, ably escorted by Dr. Barra, who is the MP of Castleford. Thank you so much. I want to welcome on stage Gregor, please.
Dear Auma, Mr. President, dear friends and supporters of Saudi Coup, and most important, dear children of the Saudi Coup family. Today, I have the honor to speak on behalf of the Eagles Charity Golf Club from Munich, Germany. Yeah. Our club has been founded 25 years ago, and since then, we have supported more than 100 projects worldwide. Auma, we met first time 8 years ago. and we loved her. It was love on first sight. She convinced us that we can't do other than helping her. And since then, since 8 years, the club itself and many of our individual members have supported her continuously, and we helped a little bit to build up that beautiful place here. And we do that because we believe that educating children and show them how to work with what they have and how to live with what they got is the best what you can do to generate a responsible society. And Oma, we are here today with more than 30 people from Germany, and for us the opening of this place is not the end of the journey. It is much more the birth of a new baby for whom we should all take our responsibility together. And we will do so. We are also here today, Oma, to assure you that we have not only been with you in the past 8 years, but the Eagles will be at your side also in future. And we also brought a little piece of German culture with us. And now I'm very proud and very happy to announce a team from Bavaria, Germany, real world champions, the breakdance world champions, DDC.
Hey, we are the DDC! And we are here in Kenya at Saudi Cool!
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn.
It's so great to be here, work with these inspiring kids and share our story, how we accomplished to become professional breakdancers. It's all about love, passion, great ambition, and most importantly, having fun. If you have a dream, go for it. So kids, are you ready to rock the show? Yeah! Audience, are you ready to rock the show? Let's go! Give it to me!
Play that sax. Give it to me. Honey, he's so vain, yeah, he been loving himself more than Kim and yeah. I'm like, boy, stop, run that back. Goddamn you, father, can you play that sax? Say the smart ass you, Mr. Know-It-All. Think you got flood down to a formula. I'm like, boy, stop, run it back. Pack a big guy, Cuba, can you play that sax? Give it to me. Bass guitars, fellas in suits smoking on cigars. Those little boys making all that noise, but you ain't gon' steal the show. No fancy cars or bass guitars, fellas in suits smoking on cigars. Just play that song I know. Take a deep breath and blow. Get loose, get right, get a grip, rock me all night. Hold tight, lean back, play what I want with that sax. Jack on the
Two fingers in the sky, kuncha gumi to the side. See on Kubu put design to see when to slide. We can boogie through the night. Thank the Lord that I'm alive. Two fingers in the sky, kuncha gumi to the side. See on Kubu put design to see when to slide. We can boogie through the night. Thank the Lord that I'm alive too.
The beat can keep up too. Checking if you come through. So follow if you want to. Nobody can stop you. The beat can keep up too. Checking if you come through. So follow if you want to. Nobody can
Let's appreciate them. The next one.
It's puro.
Guess who's coming?
Bayern, det samme mere.
Let's appreciate them. Let's appreciate them. Wapi makofi. Round of applause. Let's appreciate them. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, and now to the person who's made all this possible, our host herself, the leader, the person who's made sure that these kids are learning up and having a powerful voice for the next generation. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Auma Obama. Welcome. Wapi makofi, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Makofi, makofi, makofi. I can't hear you. Give me more, give me more, give me more. Give me more. Sigalagala ere. Sigalagala. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Auma, take it away.
Erokamano Uru, Erokamano. Thank you very much. I'm tearful now because it's really amazing to have you all here, to have my young people, my kids here, my team, everybody who supported me. So my voice is a little bit shaky because I'm really overwhelmed by all the people who came and participated with me to celebrate and to open the center. As Gregor said, and again, thank you to the Eagles, it has been a long journey, it's been a hard journey, it's been sometimes a painful journey, and it's been a very slow journey. That's the worst part, because I'm a bit of an impatient person, so the slow part was hardest. The reason I built this, with the support that I've got, is for the reason that Mama Phoebe said. I want my community to start realizing how wealthy they are. I want my community to start realizing that they can actually do things for themselves, that they can help themselves, and don't have to constantly be in a situation where they're grateful to others for what they have. I spoke in an interview about the syndrome of gonya gonya, and I'm adding to it konya konya. That means actually unbind me, untie me, help me, give me, give me. I don't want my community to be a begging community. I got a lot of flack for it because people got annoyed and said, why am I calling Luos beggars? I'm not calling Luos beggars. I'm telling Luos we need to start taking care of ourselves. And it is not difficult because we can. There's a lot of wealth here. The wealth has been shown in the film, so that cuts my speech down to half, which is good because I don't want to be too long. So you see what it is. The people can use that. There's also the human resource, the young people. People worry about having so many young people on the African continent, jobless, idle. I don't worry about having young people on the African continent. I say they're an opportunity, not a problem. They're not a challenge. We adults are the problem. We are the challenge because we don't create the jobs. We don't create the spaces for these young people to use their potential and actually be able to live a life that's dignified without having to be dependent on others. In other words, being poor. So I challenge the term poverty. I challenge what we think is poor and say we are not poor. And then I go a step further and I say poverty is no excuse. Even if you feel you are poor, you can still do something. There's so many opportunities. This is one of them. And there's a diverse number of opportunities that have been created here to show you that you can do something with your life. In particular, your rural young people, because they keep leaving. One of the reasons I built this center was because I asked the young people, what would make you stay? Why do you all run away? Why do you all leave? And they mentioned all the things they didn't have and they thought they would get in the city. I then explained to them, you won't get it because in the city, if you don't have the money, if you're not equipped, you end up in a slum. And in the slum, you get nothing. But what I will do with you, if you work with me, we'll try to create those spaces here. And that's what we've done with the Sautiku Center. We've created the spaces. So we want to give the young people options through this center. We want to give them alternatives so that they have things that they can do. We want to give them a perspective so that they can improve their lives and know that they've done it for themselves. Because what we tell them is, you are your future. You are responsible for what becomes of your life, nobody else. And that's why we start from the age of 4 years old, because even a small child knows what's right and wrong. And the minute you know what's right and wrong, you also know what your responsibility is. So you're not a victim. Let's stop, and I repeat it, even if I'm getting a lot of flack on social media, let us stop the gonya gonya, konya konya syndrome. I insist. And if you think you're mad at me for it, come and join me here. Let's work together, and I'll show you how not to do it, okay? So I ask you, I challenge you to participate with me,
to find solutions for our communities, and not just here, but all over the country. Find realistic solutions, and also to realize how we can develop our community as a community, because we can only do that if we work together. So I challenge you to participate, be part of it, work with me. Don't exploit your communities, help your communities. So my pledge to you and my offer is, and I also give you an information, this is a pilot. It's only the beginning, as all who have come up here have said. We will continue the work. We will do this somewhere else. If anybody is as committed, as crazy, as, doesn't give up as I am, come, join me. We need you. We need to do this in other parts of the country, Central, everywhere else. All over Africa, actually. So I welcome you to join me. I want to express my gratitude and my thanks to all of those who have supported my vision, who've participated with me, who've listened to me, who've cried with me, who've advised me, who have supported me with funds. My donors, my sponsors, my partners, my family. You're too many to mention all of you, so please don't be offended if I don't. I'm also not good at protocol, so I'll probably get something wrong, so I'd rather not. So I'll just mention you as a whole, and only a few people will be mentioned by name. Another person I want to mention on a sadder note is our lead architect, Benjamin Mwangi, who just last Tuesday passed away in an accident. So he's not with us. I want to remember his family and tell them that our condolences are with them. And he's very missed because he was part of creating this. Every month for 3 years we met to make sure this thing happens. So to Benjamin's family, our condolences. On a better note, I would like to let you know that we're in discussions with Yale University on a partnership about emotional intelligence and how young people learn to live their lives, their values, their ethics, so that we can create a community of young people who have civic conscience and can work forward towards improving their communities. I'm very excited about the prospects of having that collaboration. We're still talking, so it's not an announcement, it's just my saying, hey, yay, look, Yale is looking at us. So we hope to be able to work together. The Red Cross has helped every way possible. Abbas, I have to mention you only because without you, we wouldn't have made the last leg of this trip. With the Gina Dean group, you helped me put the last leg. We were putting the grass on this ground yesterday, the day before, so you actually, the grass here is new. It didn't grow just all this time. It's been just a few days. The Kenya Airways, Toyota, those are a few of the sponsors that came in now to help us with the event, and that's why I'm mentioning them. My wonderful team, I include the Gina Dean team in that group. And my wonderful team, I have to mention just a few people who didn't sleep at all. One of them is Jacob Wakoli, Elsa Nelly Ochieng, Kate Arudo, Lorna Arungu, Lucy Akinyi from my team. They didn't sleep. They've been working night and day. And most of all, I would like to really thank Dan Joshua Odwor, a slight young man who made this thing happen. Dan, I'm forever grateful to you. He's one of my team, but he has been an amazing, amazing support. And last but not least, I would like to thank both governors of my own county, Governor Asanja, and I would like to thank Governor Anyang Nyong'o for being part of this with me, for assisting me, for coming in and helping me at the end to make this place look the way it is, so that I could actually receive my guests. Thank you very much to you. Yeah. And last but not least, and really I would like her to even stand up, I would like to thank Gina Dean Kariuki, without whom we would have not had this fantastic event at all. Thank you, Gina. And in addition to the thank you, you are my little sister, you know that. Barak, you've got a new sister, whether you like it or not. She's a great person and she's really made it possible for you to be proud of me. I would like to announce here that Gina has agreed to be the patron of the Sauti Kuu Foundation, which means we're going places. Thank you, Gina. Thank you very much. So my final takeaway for you all is that I want you to know that I'm not special. Anyone can do what I've done. Okay, you might not all have a president for a brother, so that's going to be a little bit difficult. But if you work hard enough, we can replicate this with huts. It doesn't have to be bricks and mortar. So I'm telling you, please, everybody, apart from annoying you with gonya, gonya, konya, konya, please don't just talk about it. You just have to do it. If you want to change your community, if you want to change your lives, don't just talk about it, don't complain, just do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. A round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure now to welcome our chief guest and guest of honor, President Barack Obama. A round of applause, everybody. Wapi makofi. Give me more, give me more, give me more. Thank you.
Habari. Erokomano. It's good to be back. Thank you so much, all of you, for this extraordinary welcome. And I am grateful for your hospitality. I am grateful for your friendship. It is a joy to be back with so many people who are family to me, and so many people who claim to be family to me. Everybody's a cousin. You know, I'm going to just stray from my prepared remarks for a moment to describe for you the first time I came here. I was 27 years old. I had worked as a community organizer for 4 years. I had gotten to know Alma and fell in love with her, but we hadn't grown up together. And I was determined to better understand the life of my father and the life of his people. So I flew to Nairobi, and Alma had a nice little flat, and we talked all day and all night, and I would wander through the city, and then finally it was time to come to Home Square. That's what we used to call it. And so we took a train, and the train went overnight. And the train went very slowly. This was not a bullet train. And when we finally got to Kisumu, we took a bus. And this was not a fast bus. And there were some chickens in my lap, and some sweet potatoes digging into my side. And then we got somewhere around here, and we had to get on a matatu. And it was more crowded than the bus. And then it dropped us off, and we walked up a dirt path, and then we walked some more, and we walked some more, and finally we came to Mama Sarah's house, although it wasn't quite as fancy as it is now. And I was hungry, but I had to catch a chicken to eat. So we scurried around the yard until we finally caught a chicken, and fortunately, Mama Sarah was better with a knife than I was, because I think I got a little squeamish. And we ate, and then before bed, there was a cistern where we had to bathe with a little ladle, and we were scooched underneath the water. And I looked up at the stars, and I visited my father's grave, and it gave me a sense of satisfaction that no five-star hotel could ever provide, because it connected you to your past, and it connected you to the stories of those who came before you, and it grounded you and gave you a sense of place. that then fortified you for the future. And when I think about what Alma has now accomplished in building this center, what I think about is that first night in the yard and that first night going to sleep without running water or indoor plumbing. And the fact that because she knew where she came from, because she understood her story, and how it connected to the past and how it connected to the other young people in this community who maybe hadn't had as much opportunity as we had or had been quite as lucky. It was out of that spirit that the wonderful facility that we see today has been built. So I tell you that story because I could not be prouder of what my sister has accomplished. And I think it makes all of us who are Obamas or claim to be Obamas extraordinarily proud. Now, 3 years ago, I visited Kenya as the first sitting American president to come from Kenya. And when I was president, it was a little bit harder to get up here because my plane didn't fit the tarmac up here. And while 3 years ago my sister Alma introduced me before I gave a speech, today I'm really coming as a brother, as a citizen of the world, as someone with a connection to Africa, to talk about the importance of what she's doing, but also to create a larger context for what's possible. You know, as I was preparing for my remarks today, I thought about in that first visit in Alma's apartment in Nairobi, she had a poster. I don't know if you remember this. It was of a beautiful African woman. She looked a little bit like Alma, and her face was tilted upward, and over the poster it said, "I have a dream." You remember that? So I asked Alma at that time, what was her dream? And she laughed and she said, "Oh, Barak, my biggest problem, Barak, I have too many dreams." But today her dreams have come true, and today we open Sautiku's Foundation Sports, Resource, and Vocational Training Center. I had a chance to look around, and it is a remarkable space. It's a community space, a library, a computer lab, a vocational center, a football pitch, and I'm very happy to see there's also a basketball court. So thank you, Masai. Thank you, Giants of Africa. I want to thank, obviously, all the people who made this possible, the incredible generosity that has been shown. But as I looked around, I saw something that was less concrete. It wasn't bricks and mortar. I saw possibility. The hope that we can become something bigger than we are. The thought about all the young people in the years to come who will learn here and grow here and dream bigger than they do. You know, Kenya has made extraordinary strides in recent decades. The barriers to progress that a young Kenyan faces today aren't as rigid as the ones that might have faced previous generations. A young Kenyan doesn't have to do what my grandfather did and serve a foreign master. A young Kenyan doesn't have to do what my father did and leave home in order to get an education. So there's been real progress in this amazing country, and it should inspire today's young Kenyans to demand even more progress. The good news is Kenya has a new constitution. It has a new spirit of investment and entrepreneurship. Despite some of the tumultuous times that seem to attend every election, we now have a president and a major opposition leader who have pledged to build bridges and have made specific commitments to work together. So what we see here in Kenya is all part of an emergent, more confident, and more self-reliant Africa. But we know that real progress depends on addressing the challenges that remain. It means rooting out the corruption that weakens civic life. It means no longer seeing different ethnicities as enemies or rivals, but rather as allies, and seeing the diversity of tribes not as a weakness, but as a strength. It means making sure that economic growth reaches everyone and not just a few at the top, that it's broadly shared across regions. It means guaranteeing educational opportunity to everybody, not just our boys, but also our girls, because the nation that gives our daughters the same opportunities as our sons is more likely to succeed. So moving forward in all these areas is going to help extend opportunity and dignity to all of Kenya's people, and that's the goal of Sauti Kuu. It begins with our young people in places like this. All of us providing the educational and economic and cultural opportunities that can empower some of the remarkable young people that you saw here today with the skills and the self-reliance to first change their own lives and then change their communities. Right now, Sauti Kuu reaches as many as 800 young people a week. With the opening of this center 3 years in the making, as a consequence of the extraordinary contributions of some of the people that Alma mentioned, like Gina, the Red Cross, our outstanding German golfers, the Eagles, and so many others, Sauti Kuu is now going to be able to reach so many more people. And here we're going to be able to strengthen the education and job training and career guidance that young people receive so that they can not only find gainful employment that allows them to build their own livelihoods, but also allows them to potentially be job creators and dream makers and give opportunities to others that follow. Now, here we're going to help achieve sustainable economic growth by teaching rural Kenyans how to better harness the potential of local resources, determine their own futures. Here we can create a safe place for young people to come together with a focus on leadership and teamwork and empathy and health and wellness, and to engage in the positive behaviors that sports and music and drama and dance can develop so that they can discover their strengths and realize their potential. This center is going to be a place where children and young people, especially those who seek opportunity, learn the strength of their own voices. That's what Sauti Kuu means, powerful voices. And while it is true that not every child who goes through the program here may end up having the opportunity to study in Germany as Alma did, while it's true that not everybody may end up deciding that a career path in public life is what's right for them, if they just are given a small chance to express all that they feel and all the energy and imagination and talent that they represent, if they're given a platform, as this center can give them, the young people of this area, the young people throughout Kenya, the young people throughout Africa will learn that their voices can change the world. We've seen it happen before. It's going to be their voices that will help determine whether or not our leaders are held accountable. It's going to be their voices who are going to determine whether or not Kenya comes together, regardless of tribe and ethnicity, to build a better future. It's going to be the voices of these young people. echoing from these small villages and from big cities to determine the future of the world. I believe in them. They're not different than I am, or I was, on that first trip up to Home Squared, and that first night when I had a sense of who I was and maybe what I might be. And because of all the extraordinary work that so many of you have done, I suspect that in our midst right now are going to be young people who do remarkable, world-changing things for many years to come. So thank you all so much for all the great work that you've done. Mungu, abariki Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A round of applause. Wapi makofi, wapi makofi. May be settled. Ladies and gentlemen, performing now is Eric Wanaina.
First of all, it's such a wonderful privilege to be up here at the opening of Sauti Kuu and in the presence of such wonderful human beings. So this song that we're about to sing, I wrote about 20 years ago when Kenya was having to begin to negotiate sort of multi-party democracy once again. And so then, 92, we had our first sort of ethnic clashes. And then as time went on, we saw it move on down to the coast. And I felt compelled to write a song that would encourage Kenyans to focus away from ethnicity on the things, on the issues that really are important to us. And every time I travel around the country, I'm always, first of all, so flattered by how alike we all are, you know. Everywhere you go, you think you're gonna show up in Nyanza and things will be different from when you go to Murang'a or Nyeri. But wherever you go, they welcome you with open arms. And if you've made the mistake of having a meal before you get there, you know how it goes. You've got to eat the meal that's in front of you at that moment. And then if you have a couple more visits to make that day, you just have to keep on going, just have to keep on eating. That's been my experience everywhere I've traveled in the country. And I'm so pleased to be able to sing this song today with kids who weren't even born at the time that I wrote it, but who are gonna bless me by singing it with me. So thank you, Sauti Kuu. And thank you, Ghetto Classics. And thank you, Miano. Umoja ni fahari yetu, undugu ndio nguvu. Chuki na ukabila hatutaki hata kamwe. Lazima tuungane, tuijenge nchi yetu. Pasiwe hata moja anayetenganisha. Naishi na tumaini najitolea daima Kenya, hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi ni Mkenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Kwa uchungu na mateso, kwa vilio na huzuni, tulinyakuliwa uhuru na mashujaa wa zamani. Hawakushtushwa na risasi au kufungwa gerezani, nia yao ukombozi, kuvunja pingu za ukoloni. Naishi natumaini, najitolea daima Kenya, hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Kenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Wajibu wetu ni kuishi kwa upendo, kutoka ziwa mpaka pwani, kaskazini na kusini. Natumaini, najitolea daima Kenya, hakika ya bendera ni uthabiti wangu, nyeusi ya wananchi na nyekundu ni ya damu, kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Mkenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Kijani ni ya ardhi, nyeupe ya amani. Daima mimi Mkenya, mwananchi mzalendo. Sauti nane! Sauti nane! Sauti boom!
Requesting everybody to be upstanding. Be upstanding. Hold the hands of the person next to you. Raise it up. Raise it up. Repeat after me. Say, I don't care
I don't care
where you come from,
where you come from,
your tribe, your religion, your color. We are one family. We are Sauti Kuu. We are Kenya. Wapi makofi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, quickly, we will be moving to the unveiling area, the play, and this will be done by the few, the 10. They already know themselves. They will be accompanying President all the way to the play where the unveiling will be done. Then, only if you have your white tag and your badge, will you be allowed to the other side at the VIP area. The others will stay seated here. There's more entertainment. Then they will be coming back here and we will call it a day. Karibuni sana. Back to you, DJ Delight. Thank you.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. I'm wondering if your love's still strong. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Then that time I went and said goodbye. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Oh, you got the future in your hand, baby. Here I am, baby. You got the future in your hand. I've done a lot of
Remember there's lunch for everyone. There's lunch for everyone. After the unveiling, we'll be coming back. And I will be announcing where we'll be moving to. Right now, only the 10 will be going to the unveiling. Only the few will be going to the unveiling, ladies and gentlemen. So just be patient as we get into it. Stay seated, ladies and gentlemen. Stay seated, just stay seated. Just stay seated. The 4 kids that were to accompany them and their team, to please, let's stay seated. Let's stay seated. There's a performance from Sautiko.
lift up your voice. Do you know who you are? Shout in love, declare it. Believers anthem. Come on, let's go. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. Hey, all I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, for I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power. I work in miracles. I live a life of favor. For I know who I am. I'm working in power. I work in miracles. I live a life of favor. For I know who I am. Hey. Hey. We are a chosen, come on. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. Yeah, all I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who God
And former U.S. President Barack Obama there inaugurating the new building by Sauti Kuu right there. He was the chief guest, and this was on the invitation of the sister. Quite some statements made during that function. Obama paying glowing tribute to Obama, whose journey began, he says, well, probably the first time he came to Kenya. And just to sample some of the things that he has said, he mentioned about coming to Kenya as a sitting president about 3 years ago, and now coming back as a private citizen, and what opportunities this accords him. He also spoke about the strides that this country has made in the new constitution in the spirit of investment and entrepreneurship. And he's also said that has happened despite of the tumultuous elections, and Kenya, he says, now has a president and has an opposition leader who has played to build bridges. Barack Obama also spoke about the county generally, and he mentioned his first coming to the country 27 years ago and what opportunities he saw them. So basically this conversation was about opportunities that are being created for the young people, and the sister spoke about challenging the persons who are involved in these projects to find solutions for the communities all over the country, and for Kenyans to realize their full potential and the opportunity that presents itself in the community and engaging as community members. And he also says, Barack Obama talked about the young people being given foundation and a platform such as the one that is being provided by Sauti Kuu Foundation, those from the area, that's Kogelo, Nyangoma, and the whole of the country and Africa at large, and congratulating the people who are doing the good work. He also spoke about the reason for that foundation and what opportunities it will offer to the young person. So this is the second day of President Obama's visit. Straight from this, we understand that he's headed for a closed door meeting with the family, which will take place for the next 3 hours or so before he leaves for South Africa. We have a team on the ground of Trevor Umbija, Dan Mule, and Uko Kusa. We'll be joining them at the top of the hour to give us a brief about what else happened. But this activity began early in the morning. Barack Obama getting to Kisumu at around 8:15 a.m. in the morning before taking the 70-kilometer trip to Kogelo, Nyangoma village, where he has been since morning. This is the first time he's visiting his home since 2008, when he was first elected as president of the United States. Well, at this point, we take a short break. Those are live pictures from Kogelo village, where he's still there for the next 3 hours or so before he leaves. We take a short break. We'll be right back with some of the stories making you headlines, plus an update on that story about the arrest of the Kenya Power Managing Director and all other intrigues surrounding that arrest, plus a brief from Kogelo. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
We are the fourth estate, and we hold power to account. We ask the hard questions of those who hold that power, and we represent the people who don't have that opportunity to ask those hard questions.
But the burden of telling these stories is not in just giving a chronological order of events and evoke emotions and reactions. I want to give context, not only to explain what happened, but why it matters to you and what it means. I am Dennis Okari.
And I'm Olive Barrows.
Because the facts matter and the truth matters.
When it really matters, you can trust us to bring you the complete picture.
I'm proud, very proud to be the last honest entrepreneur. And when I say honest, I don't mean supplying nothing and calling it air like some of my colleagues do. Contact list is my greatest asset. Hii ofisi ya deputy speaker, wanahitaji plumber.
Niko na ile ugonjwa inaitwa jet lag. Nimetoka Russia juzi kujenga machoza huko.
Not forgetting all those loan sharks I have blocked permanently. So what I decided to do is start an NGO for tenderpreneurs, Mafundi Limited. I'm not a bad guy after all. Or am I? And who are you?
I'm the Connects Marketing Executive Director, Mafundi Limited.
Rent ni 20,000 na hapa ni pahali pa kazi. Hata kukinyesha El Nino mpaka takaini ijae, muogelee mkirejea nyumbani.
Here at NTV, we're bursting with brand new shows.
Kinachodumu daima ni mabadiliko. NTV jioni inazidi kuimarika, lakini ubora ni ule ule. Mimi ni Daniel Mule na NTV imepata nuru mpya.
Mimi ni Nuru Abdulaziz, tutaendelea kukuletea habari za utendeti hapa na pale.
Niite Salim Swale na kusalimu kwa ufahari mkubwa tokea papa hapa kwa wakomavu wa fikra. Tabani yote haya ni jaala ya Kimola.
Jina langu ni Doreen Majala, tutakupa umuhimu wa jamii na jamaa.
Jina langu mimi ni Kaltun Jama, nikiwa na ari na fahari ya kukupa habari na kutokuwepo na johari.
Utakayoipata nami Jane Ngoiri, bila kumsahau atakayedunda dunda viwanjani.
Mimi Yoshua Makori, kawaida yangu huwa na dunda viwanjani, haraka upesi kukupasha yaliyojiri.
Nami ni Harith Salim, pamoja na wenzangu tutakuletea kwa uketo, usawa na ufasaha habari za kuaminika.
Kesi gani inakuaga na pesa mingi kabisa?
Being beaten ranks high in terms of compensation.
Hii ndio mahali sasa. Hii inakaa 300.
Kiweza kununua hizi nguo zote, naweza waorganize mshukue ka selfie na rangi.
Mimi hii kazi mimi na huyu mama sasa nitamtafutia makosa. Ni mstaki hii mambo yake ishe. She's been robbed.
Anavuta glasi, ananiambia nikanyage mashupa. Ili physical tosha.
Hiyo ni mzuri.
Sasa ilikuwa a wedding video. Sasa hii kuna mtoi. Ai,
Peta kushika hapa.
Nezaliwa, acha mambo mingi unasumbua watu hiki.
Oh my God. You already know the gender. It will be a surprise, yeah.
Surprise ni hata si akituona si tutamsurprise. Do to choose between normal na CS.
The sufficiencies, it is made worse by labor.
Like the dad hataki kusikia hiyo story. Kisha nataka kusurprise nayo Diana akiza.
How's life na Baha?
Ni mgeto.
Nilikuwa nataka kaboy lakini.
So, unakaa si tunaenda hosi?
Kwa meeting tu moja alafu ndakuambia.
Sasa badala ya hosi ameenda meeting.
Lakini ulisiana wewe ni introduce kwa msupa wako hata siku moja kiosk. Kwani umeorder from China?
Hey, hebu explainia juu nanoleka idea yako kidogo.
Pale kuna chandaria na hapa chandaria.
Chandalia. Chandaria.
Lights ni blue.
Aize kwa kituka red. Babes unajua ile red?
Sijui. Kila ni idea jina mbele ya Wakenya.
Hatu tunafanya anything hapa?
Unataka tufanye nini muda?
Kitu. Juu tunafanya vitu, kitu tu.
Ching. Feria is a young, beautiful girl with a brilliant mind and many dreams to accomplish. She lives in one of the high-class neighborhoods, for her parents are the janitors of the building. Her hard work pays back by earning her a scholarship in one of the best yet most expensive colleges. Feria attracts the attention of everyone in the college, the way she dresses, her attitude, and her intelligence. This draws the attention of Emir, the striking playboy in college, who is also the son of a well-known family in high society. And just as she gathers all her strength to reveal to him the truth, Emir approaches her with a ring and proposes to her. Feria knows at that moment that she is in too deep and can no longer step back. The girl named Feria.
Did you know that for 1,000 Kenya shillings, you can get 25 GB data and stream those matches mpaka uchoke? Yo kama kina nani pale, game ikienda half time pia connection inaenda down time. Get connected today and slim bila stress. Changuo lako. Usihate game when you can stream with fiber.
Sema na Sharoya. Anachapa hapa na 10 bob. Hii side nyingine na 10 bob.
alafu anafanyiwa hapa juu hivi na 30 bob. Hiyo ni 50 bob. Alafu mimi nanyolewa na 50 bob. Tukitoka kwa hiyo salon mapenzi yetu inakuwa 50-50.
Free the joy that lives in every Cadbury Dairy Milk chocolate and experience a glass and a half full of chocolate goodness. To find out how you can unwrap some out of this world Cadbury surprises, go to www.cadbury.co.ke/Martians. University is not just a building. It's a gateway to your future. Experience all this and more at Zetech University. Invent your future.
This is MTV.
Very good afternoon and welcome back to, this is the news update, NTV Today we're done with. My name is Ken Mijungu with a quick news update for you. But first, live pictures from Nyangoma, Kogelo, that's Obama's village. Those are the latest pictures right there. Those are the people waiting to see Barack Obama, who has just finished launching a project by the sister, a project that was conceived years ago, a dream come true, a reality for Obama, who has walked this journey with the brother. We've seen several dignitaries attending that function, including governors, the envoys, and members of parliament, including Senator Gideon Moi. Live pictures there coming from Kogelo. Trevor Mbija is reporting from Kogelo village. He'll be joining us in a bit, but currently we understand that Barack Obama is still with some of the organizers of this. So we'll try and get back as soon as we have him on camera, but we'll be speaking to Trevor also shortly. But first, former US President Barack Obama has launched the Sauti Kuu Foundation Sports Resource and Vocational Training Center in Kogelo, Siaya County. Here are now some excerpts from his speech.
The young people of this area, the young people throughout Kenya, the young people throughout Africa will learn that their voices can change the world. We've seen it happen before. It's going to be their voices that will help determine whether or not our leaders are held accountable. It's going to be their voices who are going to determine whether or not Kenya comes together, regardless of tribe and ethnicity, to build a better future. It's going to be the voices of these young people, echoing from these small villages and from big cities to determine the future of the world. I believe in them. They're not different than I am, or I was on that first trip up to Home Squared, and that first night when I had a sense of who I was and maybe what I might be. And because of all the extraordinary work that so many of you have done, I suspect that in our midst right now are going to be young people who do remarkable, world-changing things for many years to come. So thank you all so much for all the great work that you've done. Mungu, abariki Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A round of applause. Wapi makofi, wapi makofi.
That was earlier on President Barack Obama making his speech after Obama, who, by the way, will have some sound bites from her too later. But to break this down, what's been happening since morning is Trevor Mbija, who's been covering this right from Kisumu Airport down to Nyangoma Kogelo, 70 kilometers away. And Trevor, Good afternoon. I know it's been quite a busy day for you right there. You have not even been able to see the president. I mean, we're here, we've seen him and heard him much more than you have, but you've been speaking to the people who have been waiting to see him too. Tell us if their expectations have been met, Trevor.
Well, thanks, Ken. We're still right where you left us earlier on. It's in Nyangoma, in Kogelo. As the clock ticks, there's still people by the roadside, as you can see behind me. They're still hoping they can see their son. But as the clock ticks towards 7 and 5 p.m., that hope is quickly diminishing. This is the point where the program simply says no media broadcast. No explanations. It's 3.5 hours between now and 1:30 to 5:30. That's when the media will be allowed to broadcast again. We've not been told why there's that blockade, but the sources inside there says he's going to meet his family members during this brief period. But there's still some residents here with me who would like to give their sentiments about the visit by the former US President Barack Obama. And there's a lady here who's with me. Mama, asante kwa kukaa nasi. Unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Mary Ohito.
Okay. Una maoni yapi kuhusu ujumbe wa Obama?
Ujumbe wa Obama naye ni nzuri, lakini kila nimeona kama mkaji wa hapa, gavana mwenyewe hakuruhusiwa kuongea. Sasa hatukuona uzuri sababu gavana ndio mwenyeji na ndio angemkaribisha Obama. Na kama hakuongea, sisi kama wenyeji wa hapa hatusikii vizuri.
Ungependa kuambia Obama nini ikiwa ungemuona?
Kama ningemuona Obama, mimi kama community health volunteer, ningemwambia angalie mambo ya health within the community.
Asante sana, ma'am. Sir, what's your name?
My name is Alfredo Lengo.
Yes. What are your views on Obama's opinion and the sentiments, the statements he just made?
Mambo ya Obama tumeona, lakini hatujafurahia. Even jambo peke yake hakuna mtu amesalamu. And then watu wametoka mbali kuona mtoto yao kutoka USA. Na hatujaona Obama hata kutoka kwa gari, hata kuwave peke yake, mkono peke yake, watu waone Obama iko namna hivi. Sijui hiyo ni sheria ya Amerika ama ni nini amelileta yeye hapa, sababu hata kama ameleta kitu, lakini hatujafurahia na hiyo kitu. Tungeonana na Obama, angesalamia watu, angekuwa kwa open place, asalamia watu yake. Hiyo ndio my view.
Thank you so much, sir. Let me get one young person here, Ken, and then we just finish up real quick. Sir, your name?
Na mimi naitwa Ibrahim Ochieng.
Okay, una maoni yapi kuhusu ujumbe wa Obama?
Obama ni vizuri sana alikuja, lakini sisi wenyewe kama youths hatujapata chance yetu ya kumuona. Juu hata hapo kwa gate au polisi walikuwa wanatusumbua kabisa. Obama anaongea huko lakini sisi tunasumbuliwa kabisa.
Asante sana. Sir, your name?
Kwa majina naitwa David Aduda.
Yes.
Mimi ni mkazi wa hapa Kogelo.
Yes, very briefly your sentiments about Obama's statement.
Obama sisi tumefurahia sana Obama kuja hapa, ijapokuwa hatujamuona, lakini tunashukuru sababu kumuona tuko na matumaini kubwa sana. Yes. Sasa
yes.
Kama ningepata nafasi nizungumze na Obama, mimi ningemwambia amekuja na wageni wengi sana ambao wazito. Sisi tunataka project ambao ikiwezekana iwe trilioni ngapi? Trilioni 10 itasaidia Kogelo na kila mtu atakuwa amepata kazi. Sababu hakuna uwezo, tunajua hakuna uwezo, atumie hiyo nafasi, sauti kuu peke yake haitoshi. Nataka project ya trilioni 10 afanye akuje na wale experts wa identify mali yote ambao kampuni nini kila kitu inaweza wekwa, kila mtu apate vile anasikia raha na sisi pia tusikie raha kama watu wa Kogelo.
Asante sana. Ken, I'll throw it back to you. This conversation doesn't end here. The sentiments are still the same. The youth would have rather spoken to Obama one-on-one or even gotten away from him. It's not, most likely it's not going to happen because as the time ticks away, he's supposed to leave somewhere between 5 to 6 to South Africa. But according to the program at this particular point, there'll be just a media blackout. No explanations, 3 hours, 3.5 hours up until 5:30. From then, there'll be a soccer exhibition, and then after that there'll just be entertainment, and it's not been explained. Actually, the media, even we will be allowed inside the venue from 6:30 to 9. We are assuming at that point he shall have already left, Ken. But we're still continuing this conversation with my colleague Daniel Mule, who's with me here. He's continuing the conversation on NTV Sasa just a few minutes from now. The residents are still here. All of them still want to speak. We are still in the exact same place. Though the security situation has sort of eased out a bit, we've not been restricted anymore, but we still can't access the venue, Ken?
Right, Trevor, thank you very much from the sunny Kogelo. And don't forget, Oduma and Fulu. Thank you, Trevor and Daniel Mule. Daniel Mule will be coming on NTV Sasa shortly. But let's move on because the story on Obama cannot end with us right now. It will end much, much later. Now, the Kenya Power Managing Director, Kent Rus, former MD Ben Chumu, and is among other top officials currently at the Milimani Law Courts, and are said to take plea